Hello, hello, hello. And welcome to Larger Curves this morning, you guys. Welcome to Larger Curves. Make sure you smash that like button and smash the subscribe button on your way in. If you haven't already, go ahead and ring my bell so that you can get notified when I upload a video. Now, you guys might think that I was having a cold or something because my voice is a little hoarse, but as it turns out, your girl Larger Curves. Uh, I was rocking out. Let me see. I was rocking out the other day. Okay, so my dad passed, and I was having a sad day, and I was a blubbering idiot, and I was trying to snap out of it. So, how did your girl snap out of it? By screaming, "Whoop that trick" on repeat like 5 times at the top of my lungs. So, no, I'm not sick. My voice is just a little scratchy because when I was singing, "Whoop that trick, whoop that trick, whoop that trick." Yeah, see, that's what did it to my voice because I was just trying to snap out of this sadness that I was in. And I was like, well, that's a hardcore enough song to make you get ready for the fight, for the battle cry, right? So I was just like, "Whoop that trick." I don't know why. And as it turned out, the song didn't help me as much as I thought, but it did because it got me out of the sadness. But now I'm hoarse. So yeah, but I'm great. I'm awesome. I'm optimally healthy, and everything in my body is working in perfect harmony for my best and highest good and longevity. So that's what I'm claiming. Thanks for asking, Mademoiselle, and thanks for being here first. So you guys, oh my God, we're not going to be for too long, but let me put a little banner up because this is allegedly, but I came up with a theory, you guys. I came up with a theory. If you guys look at this thumbnail, Quad is riding the shark. Why is Quad riding the shark? Because the sharks came for her on Survivor Island, aka the reunion of Married to Medicine. Now, over here, I am quick to point out some micro, macro, racist leaning, racist tendency, discriminatory, biased freaking observations that I happen to see played out on my freaking TV screen for my entertainment. And as always, it leaves me a little triggered, you know? So when I was watching Married to Medicine reunion the other day, I was left a little triggered. And then after seeing the aftermath of it, I was left even more triggered. Bear with me. Bear with me. Did you guys notice in our world how there's a phenomenon where as soon as something's wrong, in anywhere, as soon as something's wrong, people look for a scapegoat. And when they scapegoat, they usually look for, somebody who's easy to blame or somebody who's believably blamable, or a person who they feel is maybe, less than them and easier to cast away, right? So I kind of feel like what's happening with Quad is a form of that. Yes, exactly. So this is part of what I'm speaking to, Mademoiselle. And Butterfly, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I was looking forward to see what I would have to say, but it kind of like I was triggered in that moment. However, after seeing the aftermath, I just got a little mad for Quad. And I appreciate that. Yeah, my dad was the best. I love him. So, okay. So, you know how like people look around and try to blame the most blamable person. And unfortunately, in America, and globally, it seems like people love blaming the closest melanated person for anything. And the darker, the better. Like they're not blaming no light skinned melanated person. They're usually blaming the darkest of the hue of the melanated people. And that's everybody's issue. The darker the berry, the wronger the juice. It's supposed to be the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. But for scapegoatism, it's the darker the berry, the most likely your ass is to be the one to get blamed, and everybody's going to pile on you. Bear with me. Now, I've never said that there was colorist stuff going on Married to Medicine before. However, I'm about to say it right now on March 6, 2020 motherfucking 4. You know why? Because on March 3rd, yeah, that was Sunday. On March 3rd, 2020 motherfucking 4, Toya from Married to Medicine sat in front of the world and decided that she was going to not only feed Quad to the sharks, but she was going to do it after she nailed her to a cross and set it ablaze for some shit Anila did and some shit Carrie Wells did. I said it. I said it. So look, if that's not colorism, I don't know what is. Toya's ass sat on that stage on Sunday at the reunion and told Quad that she was to blame for the rumors about her marriage and her sleeping around, for the rumors about her breaking in, and for having a brain cell in her head and asking a logical question. It's not intellectually honest to question everything and everybody. It's not intellectually honest to not rather question everything and everybody. As many times as we've caught Toya in a lie, are we going to just believe that she didn't have anything to do with it? After her white friend, Carrie Wells, went around to all of the melanated goddesses on Cast. We saw it. The Eighth Housewife is good over on that show. So we saw Carrie Wells traipse her white ass around Married to Medicine women talking about her friend, Toya, saying that there was a plot, there was some kind of hit or a plot against Anila. Remember that, you guys? Remember? Carrie, the white lady, said it. Carrie. Is Carrie in trouble? No, Carrie and Toya kick it. So that's why I'm calling colorism on Toya's ass. I am. And then Toya sat herself in front of us on that reunion and also blamed Quad for the rumor about her sleeping with somebody in her gated community where Quad doesn't even live, and only got the rumor from Anila, Toya's other non-melanated friend. Well, non-black friend, because Toya has some, because, Anila, she has some melanin. So she's not a black woman, though. And then we have Toya whine all season about how Quan doesn't support me. Quan doesn't support me. Well, maybe it's because you're busy blaming Quad for what your white friends are doing, Toya. Maybe that's why Quad doesn't like you. Because you're taking this way too far, hun. Anila hasn't been on our screen in 2 seasons. Same amount of time as Contessa. And you are still kicking it with her at every freaking party you can in your little matching elf outfits. Over here at the last episode in the finale, y'all standing next to each other, talking trash about my friend Dr. Heavenly, and wondering how you can even be friends with Quad. Really, Anila? You're the reason Anila's not on the show is because, allegedly, after her repeated implications that Toya, the black cast member that's in the show she was on, was responsible for having her house broke into twice. That's why Anila's not even on the screen anymore, you guys, because she started it. She stuck to it. She didn't take it back. And it was a viable question to me. To me, honestly, if you're not looking at Toya cross-eyed after she told her white friend Carrie there was a hit out on her, and after that little exchange that her and Eugenia had after they found out that the house got broke into, talking about, well, some people just, that was not the right reaction for when your friend that you brought on the show got her house broke into after you said there was a hit out on her, after you had a party at your gated community where people from the behind the gate were allowed in and out of egress and ingress into said gated community. It's a logical process of elimination to start at the person who said, there's a hit out on me. Toya Bush Harris told her white friend Carrie there was a hit out on Anila. They were having issues. And remember that same season, Toya brought somebody, was it to, they went to Quad's new house. They were at Quad's new house. And Toya brought her ass in Quad's new house, wasn't it? And yeah, babe. Sorry, getting ready for the day. So, where was I? So, yeah, so Toya tells her white friend, Carrie, who she still kicks it with to this day, and calls her friend. And who, by the way, didn't Carrie get divorced after she allegedly cheated on her husband? And so, was Carrie even married to Medicine, or was that her boyfriend? Let's look up. Is Carrie Wells married? Let's look up, because this is another bone of contention with Toya specifically about why is Quad around, because she's not married to Medicine, but she still hangs out with Carrie, who's not married to Medicine either, I don't think. Carrie Wells married to Doctor? Let's see. Okay, so she's married to orthopedic surgeon Duncan Wells still. So that's good. So she is married to Medicine. She could be married, but I could have swore there was something about her cheating. Okay. Anyway, um, so I'm just like looking real cross-eyed at Toya. But during the season, I've mentioned several times that there's an obvious alliance between Dr. Yeller, Simone, Dr. Pancakes, the flip-flopper, yelling, angry black doctor Simone, loud, angry black doctor. She's all the stereotypes rolled up into one, except for she's not fat. If she was fat, loud, and angry, then it'd be more of a stereotype. But as she reminded of Dr. Heavenly, she's 120 pounds of angry black woman. Okay. So yeah, I'm going there because they're trying to act like everybody else is the things that they are. And I'm tired of it. And who put these two hoes in charge of the whole show anyway? Mariah made this show, how they got in charge of carrying on in the torch, and they're decision makers and everybody has to go through them. People think people have to go through Jackie, but it's really Toya, Tacky Toya, and her freaking tag team friend, Simone, who they have to go through. Jackie doesn't have anything to get through. Now, Jackie don't mess with too many people, but the arches that you need to pass through and under are those of Toya and Simone. Ask Quad. Ask Anila. Because Anila's off the show because she doubled down on a legitimate thought that the person who said there's a hit out on me and then had a party in the same day my house got broke into, perhaps they had something to do with it. Perhaps the person that brought somebody to mollywop me at the other lady's house, because I was the one that started the rumor about you sleeping with somebody in the neighborhood in our gated community. That was Anila. And Anila got bopped in her head that year, you guys. Because Toya be bringing backup. She brought backup to try to fight at Dr. Heavenly's tennis clubs. And because ever since she had to put hands on Toya, since Toya put hands on Mariah, she's been trying to get other people to do her dirty work because, you know, doctors' wives aren't supposed to technically get their hands dirty. So after that first time of snatching with Mariah over by the pool, however provoked it was, actually, I think Toya was very wrong in that situation because, again, Toya is always speaking out of pocket about somebody, but whenever somebody says anything about Toya, it's, yeah, you're coming after my marriage. We're fighting for my family. Bitch, you went and told the world something Mariah wasn't ready to tell him. about her daughters being adopted by Aiden or whatever that was. And then again, you hear this season, you were specifically asked not to bring up Apollo. And first chance this bitch gets, oh, well, if Apollo's a really good dad, then he should be here, in my opinion. Really? So is she really for Black people and Black women and families, or is she an op and a crybaby and a fakey McFakerson who always wants to do unto others, but she doesn't want it to be done unto her? That's why Toya has devil ears and laser eyes, because she thinks this shit is funny. Toya has never been held to any kind of accountability. Any kind. She's mean. She's meaner when she drinks. She's emasculating to her husband. The only reason people thought of a name for her sassy ass husband, Eugina, is because she throws biscuits at him and carries his balls in her purse. And sometimes she wear them for a choker. But we're wrong for noticing that she treats him like Eugina. So we just came up with a nice little name, Eugina, Gina, sassy ass. With all these little names they come up with for how your wife, Tacky Toya, treats you on this show that's syndicated, sir. But everybody's problem is Quad called him Eugina, but you're the one snatching his balls off every chance you get, complaining about the balls that he has, and that they're little balls at that. I'm convinced that Eugene's kink is a humiliation kink. Like, he just loves it. He loves his balls jingling in her purse. He loves having to come up for air from under her freaking horrible behavior. He loves it. She can do no wrong. Everybody needs a Gina. Because if a Gina's in your life, you can do no wrong. You get everything you want. You have backup all the time. And then when Gina gets invited over to Carlos's so when Gina goes over to Carlos King's yesterday with Cecil and basically parrots everything his wife has been saying about Quad and the ladies with the sassy ass, and then wants to know, why do women have business anyway? Because back in the past, the women were supposed to be seen and not heard. Then we wouldn't even had any women's business. It would have been all men's business. Really? That's your answer, Gina? You're in women's business when you enter into a group full of women with estrogen and wombs, and you start talking while they're in a conversation about what they're talking about. That's being in women's business, Eugene. Not just because words are being spoken by women, but it's literally women's business when women are talking. But he has no problem being in women. He likes it, you guys. As a matter of fact, he told Carlos he doesn't have a problem with Eugenia. He doesn't have a problem with being called sassy, because there's all different kind of men. And Toya loves it, and he loves it, and he loves Toya to death, and he's not going nowhere. I told you, you guys, he loves it. This is his humiliation kink. She might pee on him a little. I don't know if she's putting cigarettes out on his chest. Some people like that kind of domination. Who knows if he's like has a rubber band around his thigh that he pulls and makes his pop on his thigh so he can feel the pain of it ever so often to just get that little feeling. Who knows? But the only reason somebody like Quad could even came up with that name, sir, is because your wife treats you like Gina. Literally treats you like Gina. Has always complained about you, your stomach, your biscuit-eating stomach, and the bad sex, and the no intimacy. She just sits at home all day, watches Oprah, and thinks of things to complain to you about, sir, and you love it. That's your guy's thing. I know it is. I know it. Anyway, yesterday when he got over there and he was parroting things about how Quad needs to be married to be on the show, about how he gave Phaedra a pass and went easy on her and didn't talk about how she wasn't married to medicine, because that's important to Gina, that the cast be authentically married to medicine. Why does he care? Why does he care? He's not even on the freaking screen unless he's getting yelled at by Toya. Why does he care if there's non-married people on a Married to Medicine show? Now, I know the vibe is they're all married and this, that, and the other, but one was married. And so she has been married to medicine. So, and it was on this cast. So I'm not sure why everybody's like, she married to this. It's a fact. People get married and they get divorced. They were still married to medicine. But when you're a hater and you wake up in the morning and you put haterade in your wine that you got for free for promotions that you drink all day, you might think something like that. Look, that red one behind you, baby. Now, look, I am going a little hard on these two because then I also found out that colorist, yep, I'm calling Toya a colorist because her white friends, Carrie, said she was going to do the hit, said there was a hit. And then her other little friend, Anila, doubled down, tripled down, got kicked off the show because she was like, well, I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know what happened. And she's not on the show because she wouldn't take it back that this black woman didn't steal from her. Because I don't know. The detectives didn't get back to me yet, but she's not on the show. Quad had every right to repeat what these other two ladies said. The other two ladies said it on camera first. Quad has no allegiance to Toya. Toya's been coming after Quad's ankles for years. As a matter of fact, remember when Toya was like, you came from my marriage. You said that I was sleeping with somebody in my neighborhood. And she said, well, you said that I was sleeping with a contractor, Toya. Toya said, but I didn't start that rumor. So neither did Quad. That's exactly Quad's point. But what's good for you is not good enough for Quad. Interesting. But you're all about supporting sisters and stuff. Okay. Seems like you support Carrie and Anila much, 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 much more. Much, 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 much more. And you hold them to a different standard than you do this melanated goddess Quad. Insert Dr. Pancakes the Yeller. I was so disappointed to finally hear from Cecil's mouth that, so when the whole thing about, well, you slept with the contractor came up and Toya was going around saying it to anybody who would listen, Carlos asked Eugenia about, oh, well, what about this contractor comment? And Gina says, oh, well, my wife didn't start it. And he looks at Cecil. And Cecil looks down and then raises his hand. And he's like, that would have been my wife who started that. Have we ever heard Simone have to get in trouble for that, you guys? Have we ever heard Simone get raked across the coals, get kicked out of Napa, get anything to Quad for saying that she's sleeping with her contractor and letting it get run around all over freaking Atlanta? And then because I had just said the way that Simone was over talking Quad and over yelling Quad at the reunion was like she was trying to hide something, like she didn't want something to get said. So she was just yelling words so that whatever got said, you wouldn't really hear it because she was over talking Quad so much. And I was wondering, what could she be hiding? Well, you know what Dr. Pancakes is hiding is the fact that she's the one that initiated the rumor that Quad was sleeping with the contractor and that was her friend. So remember, I'm going all over the place. Allegedly, Quad told him she was only there for her check. Allegedly, Quad told him that she didn't have any connection to any of the women except Simone, who had been her dear friend for years. And her dear friend for years is the same backstabbing bitch that started the rumor about her sleeping with contractors, let it get flown around, and has never taken accountability for it or apologized for it because we're just now finding out from her rat husband, Cecil, that she's the originator of that freaking rumor, you guys. It better get brought up next season. Because damn, what's her name? Toya and the other devil up there never have to take accountability. They just go around deciding everybody else's fate, who can go on what show, who's going to sit where, who's mad at what YouTube channel, whose husbands can talk trash even though the other husband doesn't say nothing. And then when the lady talks back because the men were talking in women's business, now she's a problem. Cough, cough, Dr. Heavenly. And then you guys want Heavenly off YouTube so your husbands can enter stage left? You literally got YouTube taken away from Dr. Heavenly because she was able to create another stream of income, connect with her audience in an authentic way that has garnered her fan favorite support, regardless of her your mamas. And the haters who can't even get 100 people on their fucking Instagram lives, when they sit and drink out of their copper cups with their husbands who are sloshed and obviously slurring their words, and they still don't get as much shine as Dr. Heavenly, who, by the way, is a whole bona fide doctor, bitch. I'm not sure who tries to. And then they support everybody but Dr. Heavenly. They talk bad about everybody. No, they don't talk bad about anybody but Dr. Heavenly. And I don't like how Jackie shows up for Heavenly on screen, because she doesn't. Her and her little comments, oh, that's ghetto. In the finale, I couldn't stand Dr. Jackie telling Dr. Heavenly, oh, ghetto fabulous in her outfit. Bitch, why is everything reduced to ghetto? Why are you always an elitist? I don't like it. That was not a necessary comment. Things like that, even though Dr. Heavenly laughed it off and she laughs off everything. I mean, does any woman want to be told anything other than you look gorgeous when they go through all of that and getting dressed up? No. If Dr. Jackie did have kids, she'd be one of those kind of moms that was like always looking at you sideways when you got a piece of cake and making you feel bad about your weight. And you'd end up growing up with such a fucking horrible, insecure complex because she was always making her little comments to you on the side and. She probably that kind of auntie too. If she's that kind of friend on TV, she meets literal strangers and is like, ooh, you fat, huh? And then's going to tell her best friend, who everybody calls her puppet, oh, you look, that looks ghetto. Was your dress too small? Just all these little comments towards Heavenly. Where's your comment towards Toya? Where's your comment towards Phaedra? Where's your comment towards Simone? Well, you had comments towards Sweet and Sour. The only ones you have comments for is Quad and Dr. Heavenly. So are you a colorist too? I'm not sure how the darkest of the hues are the ones that keep on getting the most from all the other ones. Anyway, so Dr. Simone is the reason the rumor about the contractor is even out in these fucking streets, you guys. And she was yelling at Quad about what a good friend she was. And that's how I knew that shit was fake. I was like, if you have to yell about tragedy at your friend, you're not a friend after your friend is sitting there literally begging you, don't mention it, don't mention it. And then you mention it to prove you're a good friend, because that bitch knew that she was the reason for the comment she had just made to Toya about you started the contractor rumor. So then she starts yelling about what a good friend to Quad she is because she knew she started that rumor, you guys. But no, Dr. Pancakes, the yeller, the angry 120-pound black doctor. Angry. She's just so angry. Yells about everything. And then Toya and her knew that. Toya knew that Simone started that rumor, repeated it, didn't apologize for saying it because she said, I didn't start it, but then demands an apology from Quad for repeating the rumor that Anila said and that Carrie said. So how is it that Quad is in the ocean surrounded by sharks for the shit that Anila and Carrie said? Unless you're a colorist bitch. Tacky Toya and your little friend, Simone, who's nobody's friend. That was disgusting. How are you yelling at me about being my friend, invoking my dead baby niece? Bless that little angel's heart. She hearkened the angels to lie about what a good friend you are, but you're the friend that started this rumor about me sleeping with contractors to get my work done in my house. Why didn't you yell about that if you're such a good friend? Why were you only yelling about my angel? Why did you only hearken my angel? Because you're a fake. You're a fake. Oh, you know what? The way people were coming after Dr. Jackie about her bedside manner, I would love if somebody could get at anybody who's ever worked with Dr. Pancakes and see, does she yell at her coworkers and her employees like this? Because she doesn't seem to really have a switch, you guys. I'm not sure how she would be able to control that all day around her employees and patients and then only get on TV in front of the entire world and yell like an angry black woman frothing at the mouth for no reason about what a good friend you are, invoking baby angels. We already know they're not going anywhere because Dr. Heavenly did her thing, her YouTube live. After she got kicked off, she had to come back on YouTube because she was having technical difficulties on Patreon. And so she did happen to go onto Carlos King's channel, and they still had their Messy Monday review. It was great. We were there. She did say on her unlisted video, though, that everybody got their contracts back. She did not mention Sweet Tea specifically. And then Sweet Tea went and did an interview over in the TikTok streets on Monday also around 4 o'clock because she's always in competition with Dr. Heavenly. She's taking notes, but she don't want nobody to know. Yeah. So they get Dr. Heavenly off of YouTube, get her in trouble. She has to stop Messy Mondays. And then what? The crybaby, Sweet and Sour, is doing a live review. And all she ever talks about is Heavenly, you guys. She's going to name her baby Heavenly. She's going to name her firstborn after Heavenly. She got Heavenly on the brain. That whole little interview was Heavenly, 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 Heavenly. Ooh-wee. If you're not bothered, then just be not bothered and talk about your whole wonderful life with your senior citizen husband. But no, she spent a lot of time talking about and making ageism jokes about her co-stars. But when they do it to her, it's a problem. But she's continuing to do it to them. You guys, I just want you to be recognizing that it's a reciprocal relationship. She says something, they say something. They say something, she says something. There's a whole lot of responding going on, but people are only getting in trouble for the response and not the thing that led to the response. Because she didn't have to go on that little live on Monday and say all that little extra stuff, but she wanted to. And now when somebody answers her ask, then she's going to cry about how she's bullied and they spend so much time talking about me. And then she still doubled down on, they were doctors and they were making fun of my condition on TV. Why would they bring that up? You brought it up, bitch. I'm calling her a bitch. I am, because I'm done with these hoes. They're doctors and doctors' wives, but at this point, they're acting like regular schmegular bitches and hoes. That's a little far. No, they're not. I love them. It's just for emphasis. But so yeah, Sweet and Sour is crying about them still talking about her womb. But she introduced her womb to the show, you guys. Her little emojis. I can give you what you want. I can give you what you want. And then we can see remember when she released those texts a couple weeks ago talking about Heavenly's been bullying me. Look at these texts. And all the text did was show and reveal that Heavenly was trying to help you out. I mean, I don't even know if she comprehends what she reads, because it was literally helping you out. You need to be pregnant this first season. How's that working out for you? Did you talk to production? It was all stuff to help you. But no, you took it as bullying. And then you come on the show and say, I can give you what you want, and I'm here for the money. So if you offer somebody to give them what they want, but you didn't check to see if you could give it to them, then people have a right to look at you cross-eyed, sweet and sour. Oh, I've gotten his DMs and I said, I can give you what you want. And I sent him a ring, a baby, and a heart. But I never watched the show, and I've never seen the show before. I've never watched the show. But I knew Dr. G wanted a baby and to be married and to be in love. I knew that part. But I never watched the show, but I can give you what you want. Look, I don't know if it's my sign or my age, but most times, if I'm going to make a promise of something to somebody, I usually look at and examine the probability of being able to fulfill what I just engaged in as a promise to that person. And I am of the mind that I would have done it first before I make a promise that I can't deliver on. Isn't that funny? I said deliver on if she can't deliver a baby and deliver a baby. And yeah, so she's saying that she can deliver him a baby in this emoji talking about, I can give you what you want. It didn't have a question mark. It had a period. That was a statement, an emphatic statement of promise. I can give you what you want. So she did not check first that it was possible before she gets this man's hopes all up, before she gets this stranger's hopes all up. She didn't think that it would be like a letdown if something happened that she couldn't give him what she want. Like, should I really make this promise to this complete stranger whose DMs I'm entering? Will I be thought of a liar? Because I would be really concerned about being thought of as a liar from not being able to give you what you want because I can't have kids at this time or when. I would have definitely checked on that first before I got to a whole show that's syndicated in all the different countries. But Dr. Heavenly's a problem for bringing up questions that intelligent people think. Dr. Heavenly's the problem for bringing up Huntsville, Simone, really? Dr. Heavenly's the problem for saying, should you get married right now? I mean, $14,000 is a lot. You're really upset. Dr. Heavenly's the problem for saying, do you think you might want to take your time? Are you rushing things? Okay. Again, you're reaching for the nearest Black person and blaming them. In my opinion, how is Dr. Heavenly's logical, intellectually honest questioning a problem unless you're a fake? How is it that me questioning what you put out and is now not true, the problem? How is me reminding your 20-year-old friend ass that, this is where he took his mistress that time. And this is a 10-year anniversary. Hilton Head? Really? Hilton Head? And nobody else had a problem with it but Dr. Heavenly? That should be a problem for Dr. Jackie. That none of them bitches even thought twice about her mental well-being or what she was going through in her life, that they would decide to force her to go to Hilton Head. And then blame it on Dr. Heavenly. And then I'm with Carlos King for Phaedra's ass to get brought on the show by the goddess Quad and then have and sit in front of us with all that tulle around her damn feet and say that Quad is sinking? Bitch, if you get a drop of water on you, you drowning. That's too much tulle in the area. Phaedra, old fakey Faye. And then everybody did that meme of her hugging Portia after she told on about, remember when she was hugging Portia when it all came out that it was a lie about the sex dungeon stuff? They put the picture up side by side and it was the same embrace. that Phaedra gave to Portia, that Phaedra gave to Quad. And if you think that Quad was the Titanic, then you could have called your friend and told her. I mean, you did say that you tried a couple times, but you, dear, are not the Titanic saver, as we've noticed on Dubai. You didn't help their ratings go up, and the ratings on the show were higher whenever Quad was on than Phaedra. I don't know if that's true. A lot of people are happy when Quad is back, but I think some of the numbers reflect that. I mean, I like Phaedra on the show, but she's not the Titanic saver, the self-dubbed Titanic saver. Dubai hasn't even been back since she was on. Maybe she's the Titanic maker. Who knows? But I did not appreciate her calling her the Titanic. It's a lot of turncoating going on. I wonder how good these checks are that Toya and Simone want to stop Quad's bag so bad and will do any and everything to blame her, ostracize her, blame her for what the white girl said, blame her for what Anila said, hold her feet to the fire. I mean, Quad's feet must look like Kenya Moore's without lotion at this point, because they're holding her to the fire, man, for some shit these other ladies did. Not to mention the fact that she's already apologized, which Toya has never done. Toya has never apologized to Quad. Simone has never apologized to Quad. And they have this lady groveling apologies like they're freaking Karens and no apology. Oh, but that one wasn't good enough. Can you try again? I'm sorry. Oh, no. That one wasn't good enough. Can you try again? I didn't really feel it. I don't think you're sincere. Can you say it again? I'm sorry. Oh, I don't think that was authentic either. Can you try again? But Gina said in the interview with Carlos that as soon as Anila apologized, they forgave her because they felt it was real. Because Black people always feel like shit they get from white people is real. I said it. They always want to examine what they get from Black people much harsher. It's the whole crabs in a barrel thing. It happens at all levels. You think in the back of your mind, is this thing really trustworthy? Even though you know that Black lady longer than you know that white lady. But you still like, And then I feel like part of the issue that Gina has with Quad, he's like, yeah, I let Quad into my family several times and it never ends well. What is he talking about? What is he talking about? So either Quad shows up and hangs out or Quad is MIA. You got to pick one. How was Quad so in your life, but she never shows up and I'm not sure. They're talking in circles to me. I'm like, did Eugene introduce Quad to one of his homeboys and his family or something, and she didn't participate the way he thought she should and broke his friend's heart? Because why is he so invested in Quad? But I did appreciate how Cecil loves Quad. That's cute. That must really rub Dr. Teeth's. That must really chap her hide. I hope it's not another Tammy situation. And I sure hope we get a weekend jaunt to Tammy's in season 11 for sure. And seeing as how he hasn't seen his old friend in about 5 years and lost all his golf buddies fucking with Dr. Pancakes. Yeah. But anyway, I just wanted to notice how that happened. And yesterday when I realized this was all going on, this is what I said. And it was really concise yesterday. So I'm going to go back there, see if I can get that for you guys, because I just had to record my thought in that moment. Here we go. And it's not a pretty theory. It's not panning out too well for Simone and Toya over on Married to Medicine. Follow me. So this season, we saw Toya and Simone specifically want to kick Quad off the island and got everybody else's panties in a bunch. And they all ended up being like, oh, yeah, Quad hasn't showed up for us. But those two in particular were like, wait, You're not the kind of friend, and da 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 da, right? And then Toya specifically was like, because Quad, you said that I had an affair in my neighborhood, and you said that I stole from Anila's house, and you said all of these things and never apologized. And of course, we've seen Quad apologize, and we know that Anila and Carrie Wells are the ones who started these rumors. And Anila and Carrie Wells are both currently kicking it with Toya. So, riddle me this. If this sister supports Black women, then why has she forgiven the initiators of said rumors? And not only did they initiate it, but they carried it out around the Atlantas enough for Quad Webb to find out about it and repeat it because it was logical. It's like, okay, you had a party, you said there was a hit out, and these two things go together. You used to watch Quincy. So perhaps it begs the question, did somebody know something more? But she wasn't the first person to ask that question. Anila actually, my suspicion is that Anila didn't get asked back because, as the people said, you can't accuse a Black woman of stealing on a Black show and don't think that it's going to not fly. So Anila literally got kicked off the show for initiating the rumor that that Toya has begrudged against Quad somehow, and that Simone is co-signing on. So, in Carlos King's latest interview with Eugene and Cecil, Eugene was asked the question about starting the rumor that, how did he feel about his wife starting the rumor that Quad slept with the contractor? And Eugene looked at Cecil, and Cecil looked down and looked up, and then he raised his hand. He said, actually, my wife is the one who started that, who said that. Has Simone gotten any smoke for starting that rumor about her friend? She's known Simone the longest, Quad has. Quad actually said out of the ladies in the group that she felt the least connection to anybody except for Simone. But her friend Simone, who she felt the most connected to, turns out to be the initiator of the contractor rumor. But she doesn't get any smoke. Yet Quad gets smoke for what Anila started. Derby Diva, I'm calling a grown, smart, educated man, Gina, so sad and disgusting because I said his wife treats him like a Gina. And that's why anybody ever even came up with the name Eugenia, was because his wife carries his balls around in his purse and constantly emasculates him for the world to see. So people came up with a nickname for him. And instead of calling him Eugina, because that's too close to my vagina, I just went with Gina. It is sad and disgusting how Toya treats her husband on national TV. It is sad and disgusting how Toya emasculates her husband for the world to see and then still complains that he's emasculated and that it doesn't get any bigger, that it doesn't grow, and that she needs it more. Okay? So it is sad and disgusting that she would treat her man in such a way that he would get a moniker like Gina, Eugenia, or Sassy based off of his actions and her treatment of him. Carry on. Excuse the spinach. Quad gets blamed for this somehow. But Anila started it. Carrie Wells started it. Both were Toya's friends, one was living in the gated community that Toya was living within. Yet they aren't held to any standard at all for being the initiators of these freaking rumors. I'm very puzzled as to how Toya and Simone are attempting to and doing so.
No, it's just catchy.
Quad to such a high standard that they themselves are not held to.
Not going to happen.
And then for the initiators to be non-melanated, non-black women.
Thank you, Mademoiselle.
Because Anila has some melanin. But to be non-black women.
Really? You sound crazy like your friend Sweet and Sour.
Standard, yet the black girl.
Look, borderline criminal. How is a borderline criminal coming up with a nickname based off of his wife's treatment with him? That you guys sound crazy. It's just like people saying, oh, Dr. Heavenly is going to get sued for using a hashtag. She's not. She didn't make a statement. Hashtags are not statements. And if I lead with it's a nickname brought on by the actions that I see of how you treat him, what? What's borderline criminal is how Toya treats her husband. You need to go over to Toya's Instagram and to Toya's freaking Twitter and tell her everything you're telling me. Everything. Tell her it's borderline criminal for her to treat her man like that because she's given everybody all of this material to call him Gina, Eugina, and sassy ass. Go tell her. I appreciate you being here with your POV, but go tell her. Because I'm not going to undo it. I'm not the problem. Again, in this world, when people do something and you respond to it, it's not necessarily your response that's the problem. I mean, I could temper it a little bit, but it's already out there, actually. And I'm just going with what's already out there. And I hope you're not discriminating. I hope you go to everybody's thing that ever says anything about him in this regard and tells them the same exact thing. I hope you spend this amount of energy everywhere doing exactly this. And I hope you get what you need from it, because I don't have to amend my thoughts of him based off of your thoughts of him. That's just how I feel today. Okay? He said he doesn't even mind. The man said, look, I just called him a man. Are you happy? The man said he literally doesn't even care about this whole sassy Eugenia thing. He doesn't even care. So I'm going to continue. The black woman, the goddess, the Nubian goddess that is Quad, is blamed and held to the cross when the wood should clearly be and remain at the initiators of said attack on this black woman's family and reputation. So when Eugene was sitting up there talking about, yeah, I couldn't get past the robbery thing, but yeah, we're fine with Anila now because she apologized. Quad apologized. And you've known Quad longer, but yeah, okay. It's kind of like what they do to Candace over on Potomac. I mean, are they moving the line? It kind of seems like it, because how is she held to this? And that's why, and this is why, and I'm your friend because of a tragedy, and yelling about all of these setups to appear like you're a friend. But your actions, Simone, since you're the initiator of the contractor rumor with Quad, means that you're an op. Like, that's total op behavior. And then you're just gonna yell at her all freaking time and kick her out of stuff instead of own the fact or mention that you happen to be the one that you're like, because right now Quad is looking at Toya like, Quad is like, whenever Toya says, you tried to do this to my family, you said I was sleeping around. No, Anila said that. And what if, even if I did, you said I was sleeping with my contractor. She said, well, I didn't start that. Simone didn't say I did. Simone was like, get out of Napa. Speaking of which, thinking on that, knowing now that Toya didn't pay for the freaking Trip It All production paid for it, who you kicking out of what? Who you kicking out of what? I'm staying. I'm not messing with y'all, but I'm staying, just like when Wendy stayed in Miami and didn't mess with them. And just like when Marlo finally got to have a cast trip and Kim was like, I'm not going nowhere. You didn't pay for none of this. Who are they to try to kick her off when one initiated the rumor against her and the other one's yelling at her for the rumor the other non-black lady started, but they support black women? Somebody put it in the comments, because I'm confused.
Yeah. So that was my take. Yet I had a moment yesterday, and it was right after listening to Eugene and Cecil talk to Carlos. You guys should check out that interview. Cecil, now he did get into it with my girl, Dr. Heavenly. He's learned his lesson though. He hasn't really said a lot about her since then. He said a couple of things and he needs to watch it, but Cecil at least learns from his mistakes, you know? Now, as far as this, I did catch that statement. And how is Andy? Look, every word that's coming out of my mouth, I'm saying. And the person in the comments, what was her name? Derby Diva Empowerment. Thanks for being here. She's challenging what's coming out of my mouth, right? But it's still coming out of my mouth. And this happens to be my channel. So what came out of Dr. Jackie's mouth is Dr. Jackie's responsibility, period, no matter where she said it on what platform. So I don't think that all the roads lead back to Dr. Heavenly's channel. I think all the roads lead back to your mouth, Dr. Jackie. That's where it leads back to. But that was another instance of somebody looking around for something to blame besides the blamable person. She said a messy statement, and the context, while interesting and somewhat true, didn't sound great coming from somebody who looks like us. And had she prefaced the conversation, or I don't know how she could have said it. I mean, I got what she was saying because I've been treated like that. So I thought she was talking about how people get treated and that's how you get treated. But she's not saying that she treats people like that. Anyway, but I did notice how Andy said it all goes back to the YouTube channel. And he never told Candy that. A lot of things got brought out on Speak on It, but he never said anything to Candy about it, you know? Let's see, Lipton talks cash shit to Heavenly. Yes, and they only show her response, and that's exactly what Heavenly was saying on her unlisted YouTube video. And when she did her Messy Monday with Carlos on Monday, was that the way it chops up, makes it look like she's crazy. Like she's just standing in the middle of the room talking about little girl. Like, but you didn't see what Sweet and Sour did. And I'm not sure why production would be doing it like this unless, production. But yeah, it's a lot of responses happening. And that's how I started the video. It's a lot of responding, but they are only looking at the responses, not the initiated action. It's interesting. I can give you what you want. And it was lies. I would have never sent that emoji unless I knew I could give him what he wants, because then he's going to be looking at me cross-eyed if he look in there and sees that there's cobwebs on my freaking fallopian tubes. If there's cobwebs in my uterus, I should have that checked before I send you an emoji that says I can give you what you want. If there's a chance that there's cobwebs in my uterus, before I send you that emoji, okay, well, maybe, because you don't even know if the person's going to respond, right? So you send it confidently. I can give you what you want. And then as soon as the person responded, I would have went right down to the place and made sure there was no cobwebs in my uterus so that I could give this man what he wanted that I promised him in this text. I would not have issue with my friend who brought me on the show saying, oh, girl, you didn't get that checked out first? Are you sure? Is everything okay? What do you mean you didn't get that checked out first? And you led with that? It's not a good look. What's going on with that? I would have asked first. Are you sure you didn't know? It's just logical questions. But in a child's mind, it might not have connected all the dots that might have to be a follow through with this promise that you made. Oh, I'm going to do all my homework. And the teacher calls and your homework still ain't done. The lies, And that kind of makes it feel like a lie, because you would feel like that would have been checked out first. So if you're going to wait to get on a show, but she had a government job too, you guys. Look at this. She had a government job for the gut. That means she has great benefits. She has great benefits, you guys. Oh, you're here. No way. I'm going to drop the link. I'm dropping the link. Because the government has great benefits. And where'd the comment go? Where'd we go? We're up here. The government has great benefits. So she could have very easily went and made sure there was no cobwebs in her uterus, you guys. And as the person jumping in the DMs with promises, it was her duty and responsibility to ensure that she could possibly do this. Lola Lane is in the house.
What is going on? What is going on, Curves? I was hearing you preaching, and you are absolutely right. I feel as if this woman promised this man a baby, sent him a baby emoji, and you didn't even know what your reproductive organs, if your reproductive organs was reproducing. Okay. And I think that, and a lot of you may be like, that sounds insensitive, right? But I'm also not going to promise someone something without knowing if I can deliver. Because let's not sit here and act like 75% of the reason why he married her is to have a kid. Let's not say
exactly.
He do not respect her. Because remember, he invited the stripper to the wedding.
Right.
He not only
on
that
camera, Lola, that was on camera.
Girl, that wasn't the only thing on camera. He told Phaedra it's coming up in the next reunion, part 2 or 3, where he's like, well, had I given you the $4,000, maybe we'd be somewhere different now. Right in front of his wife and the whole damn cast. And the camera. So and the white man, Andy. I don't understand. Like, I just don't understand.
But Phaedra, but Dr. Heavenly and Quad are the problem. It's just so weird.
Nah, Quad, I do believe Dr. Heavenly when she says that Quad, he would go back to Quad. I feel like the way he was looking at her at that last party, when she went for the hug, that hug was a little too on his, I don't know.
Yeah, and that lingering.
He just looked bothered when he saw Quad. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. And Sweet Tea immediately went to insecurity. Like, she was trying to pretend like it was okay. She got back over there. She's like, why are you always coming over here to say you? This is our life.
I don't know. Y'all Arkansas hoes are built different, because it'd be a cold day in hell.
A cold, freezing day in hell.
If me and my husband were near his ex-wife, we would be she would need to be in witness protection. That's all I'm saying. And it's not a matter of jealousy. It's a matter of respect and principle. What you're not going to do is disrespect what's going on now based on what went on in the past.
Yeah. What do you think about, like, Dr. Simone to have never got called on the carpet about being the one that initiated that, and then being so vocal about what a friend she is, but she's totally the friend that started all of this stuff?
Well, first of all, I need Dr. Simone to step to the front of the congregation, her and her long 12 feet reaching teeth.
Oh, yeah.
For her to say, we all knew that she should not have shared that story about Quad's niece. That was not her story to tell at all. I do not understand why these women are so upset at Quad. I think that, and this is something I learned in my 20s, granted I'm only 30, but I learned that you have friends for this and friends for that. Quad is not the type of friend that's going to be calling you, texting you every damn day. Right. Quad is the good time girl. Quad is the girl that you hit up and you're like, hey, I'm having an event, come through if you can, and if you can't, God bless and have a merry day. You cannot put a large amount of stake in your friendship with Quad, and that's fine. That's fine. You don't need to have a deep rooted connection with every single friend. You can have a friend that you just go out to get drink with and you go home and you call it a day. I don't understand why they're so upset with Quad. They're acting like Quad screwed their man. The only person that legitimately, to me, has a reason to be upset with Quad is Toya, because of how she spoke about her husband, and because she accused her and her husband about drunk driving with their children in the car, and because she accused them of Grand Theft Auto, low key, saying that they rode by needless and robbed the place. That Toya has a legitimate reason. Everyone else, and I believe Dr. Heavenly, what she said, that Simone did say that the only reason she's acting upset with Quad is because she doesn't want to upset Toya.
Yeah, like there's an obvious
Go along
why.
and get
Well,
along.
why? What does Toya have that the doctor Simone could need from this housewife who's an angry housewife sitting at home?
Well, when you're sitting at home doing nothing, you have time to research, and you can't tell me that Simone and Cecil don't got some skeletons in their past.
So maybe she's like, okay, if you hang out with me, then I won't tell.
My question is, y'all can say what y'all want about Heavenly, but I'll tell you this: Heavenly has raised some responsible, educated children, go-getter, productive children. Simone, your kids ain't doing nothing but collecting dust. I just don't understand. Like, your parents are educated. Why are you not going out there and doing something for yourself? You're living off of mom and dad, and you're like in your mid-20s. I'm sorry, I have no respect for it.
Right?
Like, Heavenly kids are going to college, finishing college. They doing something with their lives. It just seems like Simone's kids have been in the same place as I would just be embarrassed. Is that me? I don't know.
I would have been embarrassed.
Like, your children are vagabonds.
Like Derby, you really just don't like Quad. I mean, some people like who they like and don't like who they don't like. I mean, I'm obviously a Heavenly's angel and a Boopy for life, but I don't feel like Quad is a fraud. I feel like what Lola just said is actually spot on about there's different kind of friends, aren't there? There's all different kind of friends.
Yeah, and I feel like
your friends call you all day, and other friends you only hear from once in a while.
Yeah, and I think that the reason why they're upset with Quad is because Quad is very pretentious, in the sense that Quad could pick up your phone call, but she's not going to pick up your phone call just to act like she's more important. She got more important shit to do. So I understand how that's frustrating. But I feel like Simone showed up for Quad when she needed her, and that's great and beautiful, Simone. But I also believe in not giving people more than what they're willing to give you. So if you know Quad is not willing to reciprocate that type of support and love, don't give it to her. And
but okay, let me just say on that. So, okay. So she's yelling about being there when she heard, like this other person is saying that it was on the news, it was American news that the person, that the baby did that in the pool and everything. And that it wasn't a dog that died in the pool, right? So, when my dad just died in December, I had people reach out to me that I still haven't called back because, and it's fucking March, you guys, because talking to them will trigger like an onslaught. It would just be too emotional for me. And I haven't decided that I have enough strength in any day so far to call these particular people back, because they know how much I love my dad. They know the connection that me and my dad had, and they know like they knew him. And so like when I connect with them, it's just going to be like all this pain. It's going to be beautiful pain, but it's going to be pain nonetheless. And so I have not been able to call them back. I've called other people. I've seen them in real life. I've done some other stuff, but I have not called them back. But those people in my life, I wouldn't use that and wouldn't have used it on me as a chance to proclaim what type of friend they are in the middle of me saying at that moment, oh, please don't. Can you not bring that up right now? It's going to be a lot. Because even that.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, if I would have had to been on a reunion and somebody talked about my dad dying, we would have needed an hour break so that I could get my shit together.
Not even that though. Why are you doing kind acts of kindness and then wanting credit for it? Like, I feel like
that's the part.
Yeah, it's like if you were there for her, that's great and dandy. I'm sure it'll add points to the scoreboard when you get up to the pearly gates. You know what I'm saying? But it's like for you to sit there and be there for someone and then throw it in their face. I just feel like it's ridiculous. Like, you don't know
what yell about it. It wasn't even like, because a loving place, she should have been able to come out of that.
Yeah, you're right.
But she couldn't even come out of it because she was really covering up that she's the rumor starter.
Mm-hmm.
So she was having to yell about the kind of friend she is because she hasn't been that kind of friend. It was alternative facts happening in front of our face.
It was.
It's so crazy. And then, now, how do you feel about, are you mad that I call him Gina? I mean, at least I took away, I stopped insulting our vaginas by calling him Eugina. I took it down to Gina.
I like Dr. You know what's funny? I actually like Dr. Eugene. He did a really good interview. Yeah. recently
Yeah.
with Carlos King and Cecil. I recommend everyone watch it. It gives you another perspective on who Dr. Eugene is.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he wrote her paper.
Yeah,
He
he did.
loves her. He's not going anywhere.
I mean,
He
yeah.
doesn't mind being called Eugina or sassy. He says men can do anything. Yeah, whatever. I mean, and if he's not tripping, then I'm not sure why Derby Diva is on my jock so bad. If I never see Quad on TV again, I'm having a great day. Sunk ship Quad. Oh,
Damn,
are
y'all
you
hate
sweet tea?
Quad.
Is this sweet tea trolling Quad? Are
Probably
you
is.
sweet and sour? Oh my God. What did Quad do to you? Was your husband the contractor? What's going on, girl?
Ooh, not the contractor.
They are really coming for her. I don't think that Quad did any. And then that's the other thing. Like, if Quad has been existing on this show in and out only for filming all this time, because the type of friend she is basically like Melody Holt, where if we're not filming, I need time to regain my peace and harness up. So by the time I'm interacting with you hoes again, I'm as strong as possible. What's the problem with that? I should not have to hang out with boring ass Simone. And then, look, obviously Cecil's more fun than Simone if Cecil and Quad have this relationship outside of Simone. Is that going to be the next thing she's doing? She's going to want him to get rid of Simone, going to want him to get rid of Quad next because she's going to be interfering in their relationship too? Poor Tammy, he hasn't talked to Cecil in 5 years.
Man,
I don't know. But I feel like Cecil did a good interview. I really like Cecil. I really do. But Gene, I don't know. I feel like he just picks up whatever cross his wife has to bear with Quad. Like, why are you so invested in Quad?
no, he's upset. From what I gathered from the interview is that he's upset that she accused him and Toya of drunk driving while they had their kids in the back. And what
Well,
he's
did
saying
they
is
have
that
drinks? Did they have drinks on film?
well, I don't
Did they do that on film, or was that just a private? I don't remember that
I think that
exactly.
was a private thing. And what Eugene's saying is like, we need to be careful what we say about the doctors because at the end of the day, we have to answer to someone at work and we're on boards and we're certified and stuff like that. Then you don't want to end someone's
But
life.
if it was never brought to the show, because I don't remember that being a storyline ever, that Quad said that they were drunk driving. That was the first time that I had actually heard of it was from Eugenia in that interview with Carlos yesterday. So he's the one bringing it to us. We didn't know nothing about it, dude. That happened over there. You brought
Yeah,
it to
but the burglary was on camera, right?
the burglary was because Anila and Carrie Wells, the two not black girls who are still friends with Toya,
Yeah.
did all of this. So I still don't think that Quad should be in trouble for it.
That's fair because if you could forgive the person, you could forgive.
Literally sitting there talking shit about Quad at the Met Gala, but with the person who started the rumor that you're mad at the girl about.
Yeah.
That didn't make any sense. You look petty. You don't have a leg to stand on. And
Yeah.
if you're literally cheesing with the initiator of the rumor, but this black girl's 28th apology isn't good enough for you, then you're a colorist. Something else is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And she hasn't even hearkened. Somebody needs to hearken. Carrie Wells is the one that started all that stuff besides Quad. It just makes Quad look like a disgruntled ex-friend being the only one to speak truth to these hoes. But the other one, somebody else needs to say it too.
Mm-hmm.
It's not fair. It's just not fair. And I had such a bee in my bonnet
Mm-hmm.
that they would not only ostracize this woman for what the white girls did, but continue to lay into her and then hearken the angel of her niece. But she's the problem. And then people in the world are like, oh, and then she's fake crying over her niece. Obviously, they edited it so her makeup could still look okay. Oh, she wasn't even crying. She's such a fake. She was definitely crying about her angel niece. But let's see.
It's difficult. It really is.
Yeah.
Were you I wasn't shocked to find out that Dr. Aiden doesn't talk to any of the men anymore. Were you?
No, not at all. He never really fit in the first place.
He didn't. He gave me creepy vibes.
Very creepy vibes. I think it was the hair plugs.
Ooh. See,
Yeah, no, she made him get hair
I
plugs.
didn't know he had all that.
Yeah,
Damn.
no, she made him get hair plugs. I think they
Did
did
she
it.
really?
Uh-huh.
Stop it.
Mhm. Yeah, no, he got hair plugs, and it was looking really creepy. Really creepy. A reality star that doesn't name a reality star that doesn't. Bravo shut Heavenly's YouTube down after calling Dr. Greg pedo. No, that's not what she said. Bravo didn't do anything.
Oh no, she did in Twitter. She did, and then she like fixed it.
She said the people came. No, no, no. I'm saying that Bravo didn't shut it.
Um,
She said Daddy told her to stop.
yeah, I mean, yeah.
So Daddy might have told her to stop because the wrong hashtag, but Bravo did not. She said the people got to Dr.
Yeah, she
Dad.
needs to be careful because that could be a loss. That's defamation. You know what I'm saying? I'm just
But
saying.
I've already researched. Okay, so the thing about hashtags
Mhm.
is hashtags are not statements, you guys. Statements are defamation. Hashtags are not. The only time a hashtag has been used in a court as was had to do with branding or copyright or something like that about a brand specifically, and it was about infringement. There have been no successful lawsuits here in the United States about
All right, Curves
hashtags.
Cochran.
Huh?
I said, all right, Curves Cochran.
Right? No, I did my research because I was like, ooh, could she get in trouble for that? And so
Mhm.
I went immediately, and nope, the only hashtag laws so far have to do with copyrights. Like if you were hashtagging Nike, 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 and Nike was like, can you stop? And it's
All right,
kind of like,
girl. Let me
yeah.
ask you a question, and I'm gonna be a little messy. What happened to Heavenly's Beauty Supply Store?
Oh, she had started that for her daughter. Her daughter went to FAMU,
Yeah.
and it was hard to find good employees, so she sold it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, she
All
sold
right.
it. I hope she kept that inventory of good hair. I loved how she was going in there getting new hair every other day. That was fun. That had to be fun to have that just like right there as a Laura, who's such a beauty queen, and she could go
Mm-hmm.
get all her stuff. Like, could you imagine that being like a teenage girl with a beauty supply at your fingertips?
I'm not that girl. I was never that girly, but yeah, I see the point.
Yeah, yeah. I was shocked Eugene justified what Toya said about his. Yes, he totally. I'm telling you, he has a humiliation kink allegedly.
He does. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know how he tried to spin that in front of us. That's
Mm-hmm,
crazy. That part, I was
mm-hmm.
like, he lost me on that part. I was like, brother.
I'm glad you think so. Calling Dr. J, she called him. It was actually pedi, like is in a petty cure.
Okay.
It was not pedo, and it was a hashtag, so it does not have any legal consequences. Maybe you should do some research. I did some research on Google.
Oop. I'm gonna mind my business.
Yeah, I love you guys. I love you guys. I'm feeling a little banterish today. But
Mm.
I love Dr. Heavenly. I'm sad that she had to go away from Carlos. They did get to do their Messy Monday. I don't think that quad should be
Wait,
held.
wait, 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 wait. Why'd she have to go away from Carlos? What happened?
Okay, so they were doing Messy Mondays on YouTube. Carlos said he doesn't want to go to Patreon. He's going to be staying with Messy Mondays on his YouTube channel. He said that.
So
So,
they're not doing it together anymore?
right, because she has to go to the Patreon. So on Monday, her Patreon was having technical difficulties, so she ended up on Carlos's anyway.
Oh.
Yeah,
Wait, why did she have to go to Patreon though?
because she said Dr. Daddy told her to get off of YouTube finally. Yeah, he said get off YouTube. So she's like, okay, I'll go to Patreon. Because at least then people have to pay to hear the mess. And then if you paid to hear the mess, she's still going to be just as messy.
Yeah.
But they just forced her to get an alternate stream of income, you guys. The haters just keep making her richer and richer and richer. Okay. Because Patreon money, well, that's subscription based. Well, I don't know if she's going to put the things back over to YouTube too. I don't know what she's going to do, but it's still, they're just making more money because she's going to leave her YouTube up. So that's
Mademoiselle, she's
gonna
not
be money.
gonna. Mademoiselle, let me tell you something. Put Mademoiselle's comment up right now.
Where is it at the bottom?
Yeah, Mademoiselle, Kate
Okay.
Middleton is not gonna divorce William. And I'll tell you why. The difference between Kate and Diana is that Diana is from the Spencer house and they are nobles. Kate is from the gutter. Kate is a peasant.
Oh,
Kate is not of any name, any lineage, or any pedigree. That's the difference. Diana came from money when she's a noble when she met Charles. That's why she's like, deuces, I'm out of here. I'm taking my jewels. I'm taking part of your money and I'm out this biatch. Kate, she's not a nobility. I'm just saying. That's a difference.
You know, and having all those babies back to back depletes her calcium. I hope they're giving her good vitamins. But Toya is a problem. And I'm like, I even asked Dr. Heavenly when she came for that interview in January. I was like, are we on Toya's show? Is this Toya's world and we're just all living in it? Because how is she feeling like she's in charge over there?
I don't understand that either.
And now finding out that Simone is helping her with this fake status is crazy.
Yeah, I don't get that either.
Okay, and then even if it is defamation, then they would have to prove that it caused damages, and a statement up for, a hashtag up for 30 seconds does not carry that. So, okay. Yeah, the lies that freaking Toya told, the lies that Sweet and Sour told, and the lies that Dr. Yella told. Yep, exactly. Yeah, people counting tears is weird. It's weird. They're
Wait,
all
so you don't like sweet tea at all?
I love Sweet and Sour. I love Sweet and Sour, and I hope she can get her act together and come back next season and be a little more grateful and a little less in her pampers about everything, because she's really like, I'm wondering if Dr. Heavenly got that Infamil for her as a joke at this point, because she's just like a freaking baby. How are you literally cussing out grandma and then crying about being bullied? Like, you're crazy. You're crazy. Oh, and then getting her mother into it and her sister. That, you know how many lives I have with them, threatening harm, making statements of felony threats of harm, physical harm against Dr. Heavenly.
I mean, child, you know they're from Arkansas.
Well, hey, that's still a threat. That's a viable option for a lawsuit, is making felony threats against my personal safety online and then engaging others to do the same. That's more.
Yeah, Zillian, I agree with you. I don't think Simone and Heavenly like each other either.
I don't think so either, but I know that it's because
can I say something though? Simone don't forgive nobody.
Right.
Simone will hold a grudge until the end.
Oh my God. Time. And that gives me back to Dr. Jackie talking shit about Dr. Heavenly, who's the only person who sticks up for your ass, talking about Dr. Heavenly holds grudges. We all know Dr. Heavenly doesn't let go. She does. She's the only one that lets go. Dr. Simone is the one that was like, she's going to age Moss before she changes her mind.
Yeah.
And I don't like how Dr. Jackie does not stick up for Heavenly on camera. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Because it leaves my friend looking like a dummy. It leaves her looking like a dummy. And it leaves her looking like a pit bull for Jackie. And that's not the case. And
I agree with you. I agree with you too.
Are not okay. And I hope that they have a real honest talk off season. And hopefully Jackie will show up in an appearance of a real friend to Dr. Heavenly, who's been nothing but a friend to her. She was the only one that had your back during that the Hilton Head thing. And you're going to tell her outfit looks ghetto.
Jackie's using her though.
Yeah, I feel like there might be a little bit of usury going on. But hey, but Dr. Heavenly swears that IRL, not on the show, Dr. Jackie has her back in everything.
Yeah.
But I need to see that on the show, because on the show, why would she have Simone's back more than yours when you have her back on the show more than Simone? It's off-putting.
Mm-hmm. I get what you're saying.
Okay, let's talk about that last finale scene, because everybody's on my friend about that too. So, Lola, imagine you put on a thing. Oh, and then, oh my God. Did you see Buffy Purcell and Mariah did a live yesterday or Monday also?
No, I didn't.
Everybody heard YouTube was going to be free on Monday at 4 because Dr. Heavenly wasn't going to be there. And so Mariah and Buffy went live at 4.
Mm.
Sweet and Sour was on TikTok at 4, and everybody went to YouTube. You guys, it was so funny. They just thought they was doing something, trying to pick up all the stuff. So anyway, they were doing a live on their thing on Monday, and Mariah said that she went to Simone, and they were supposed, and she went to her and was like, "Oh, we should do a Met Gala." She said she did mention that to Simone years ago, so she was so happy to see her idea of the Met Gala finally happen, and so she took credit for that too. Um, but at the Met Gala, let's say you had put that on, and you and me and Corey and Prosperity
Mhm.
all agreed up front that we were going to put in no less than $1,000 each,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
And then um Prosperity, since she does cups, let's say Prosperity comes up and she's like, well, I supply cups, so I'm going to give you guys $1,000 worth of cups. And you're like, but we already have cups because it's an event for people. So we got catering, we got cups, we got food. We don't really need your cups. But
Yeah,
you
girl,
said
Toya was wrong. Toya was wrong. Don't nobody want her cheap ass
right.
box line.
And then that was all PR. She got Toya's cheap and tacky.
Yeah, she is.
Because and if you're making more money than Gina,
Mm-hmm.
like Gina said, she makes more money than him. If
Mm-hmm.
you're making more money and you're so this, then why are you acting so broke over $1,000?
Yeah, I don't know. That was weird.
It's so weird. It's not but it does fit the broke narrative that we keep giving them about why you move so much. You pay too much in your rent and all this other stuff. You mismanage your money because you should definitely have $1,000 to floss.
Yeah, you should.
And it should not have been a whole conversation with your husband ahead of time and a
Mm-hmm.
further conversation at the actual event of making the people put your shit up at the event and take the poster down and put it up.
Yeah.
That was really tacky, Toya. And then everybody's still on my girl Heavenly though, because they're like, oh, it was so tacky of her outburst at the thing, totally negating that it was again in response. Who did we see do an outburst first? Toya. Interesting how she's never held to any accountability because Toya was like, oh, that's Dr. Simone. She said that first.
Mm.
And then Eugenia went and took the microphone from Heavenly and they cut it out, you guys. And he went up there and said, I'd like to thank my wife for providing the wine for this event, but she didn't do that shit. Because she didn't even supply enough wine for all the people there. She brought a couple bottles of wine, and not everybody drinks wine like her friend Dr. Teeth had already told her.
Mm-hmm.
But no, they cut out how Gina got up there in woman's business, showed his ass again on behalf of his humiliation king lady.
I can't get mad at a husband for defending his wife though. That's my only thing. I know you're gonna yell at me, but I'm just saying I can't get mad at a husband for defending his wife. Right, wrong, or indifferent.
Okay, I can get with that. However, when the husband does that, call the husband out for the outburst in public. Why call Dr. Heavenly out for the outburst in public? Not call out the wife who was yelling things from the audience. That's Dr. Simone. From the audience, you don't even have the thing. And then your husband's going to back you up by coming and taking a mic. He's not even in the program. That was wrong. So if your husband's going to support you in the wrong way, then he deserves to get called Gina and sassy. And then after he did it, he's going to pull on Dr. Damon?
Yeah,
First, you take the microphone out my wife's hand, say some bullshit. She corrects you, and now you're gonna come pull on my arm, talking about, well, I don't really like it that your wife is making me look cheap. You look cheap, bruh, and so does your wife.
Damn.
It's too late.
She said it's too late.
And you look like a baby.
Yo, speaking of Heavenly, I feel like Heavenly need to get on Phaedra's ass because Phaedra set her up for that Med Gala.
Yeah.
That dress she put her in.
I like the dress. I like the dress.
No,
it was a little teeny tiny dress.
It was too small and too junior prom for the event. That's what I
I liked it. She liked it. I don't have a problem with it. I like when ladies with bigger thighs than I like when ladies who don't have thigh gaps
Mm.
wear dresses that ladies with thigh gaps wear, because thighs are thighs, and just because you can't see the sunlight
No,
between
no,
them,
no. It's
you
not that.
can't
It's just
wear that dress.
it's not the length of the dress. I get what you're saying.
That was my only problem. I was like, ooh, an inch
Yeah,
longer could have been better.
that's because thick thighs save lives. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
My issue was like the dress overall, just the way it looked. To
yeah,
me, it just looked really small and it looked very prom-ish. That's
yeah.
just, that's just me. And I feel like Phaedra did it on purpose because Phaedra would have worn. I can see
I
Phaedra in the
feel like
sunset.
Phaedra's worn that dress. Actually, I
Yeah,
actually feel
yeah,
like Phaedra might have had that dress on before.
no, she did, but it fit her. Like I feel like she picked the size that would fit her. I think she was like, I don't trust Phaedra. I think that's what it is. I really don't trust Phaedra. The truth ain't in her. Like your girl said, the truth ain't in her.
Yeah, it's just not.
I don't
Well,
think Phaedra's ever told like the straight up truth. I'm just being honest. I don't think she's ever told like the truth straight up.
right. Yeah, no, she hasn't. And not even like it's always such a mystery. Everything she answers is in mystery form. Like,
Right. It's like you're
yeah,
always lying or you're
yeah.
pretending to lie. All right, Curves, I'm gonna have to go because I'm still working, but it was a
I
pleasure.
appreciate you popping up. Thank
No
you.
problem, girl. I
Thank
heard
you. It was
you.
so good to hear your voice and get your POV.
I know, right? I'll talk to
Right
you later.
on.
Bye, y'all. Bye.
Okay, thanks, you guys. So that was pretty much what we were talking about. So, um, Toya is a problem. Simone is an op. Sweet and sour needs to grow up. And don't make promises. Don't write checks your ass can't cash. That's basically what sending an emoji of a baby is without knowing whether or not you can produce said baby. It's like you wrote a check, literally, that your ass can't cash. And a note to anybody else trying to get in other men's DMs from shows they never watched before, although they know exactly what they need, maybe you might want to make sure that you don't have any cobwebs in your uterus next time you promise somebody that they'll be able to use said uterus to produce offspring. Always check the cobwebs first, okay? Um, Simone needs to be held accountable, and Toya needs to be held accountable, and Quad needs to be completely forgiven, and this never needs to never be spoken of again. Or I'm going to need for Toya to never be in another picture kikiing with Anila and Carrie Wells, who are the initiators of what she's blaming Quad for. Yay! It's good to see you. Thanks for coming through. You're in school, Emmanuel. I wish you could make a case. I would love to have you make a case for your friend Simone's teeth, but she literally started the rumor about the contractor. Okay, let me give you the difference between Heavenly and Simone. When Quad said, I talked to Heavenly and she said that it's not a good time to call Dr. Jackie right now. Dr. Heavenly said, I did say that. She admitted to what she did in it. She said, I told her not to call her right now because I didn't think Dr. Jackie could handle it. When Toya, when Quad said to Toya, you said the rumor about me sleeping with the contractor. Now we know Simone's responsible for that. Simone doesn't even have enough backbone, you guys. She has all teeth. She doesn't have enough backbone or authenticity to stand in her shit and say, I'm the one that said that. It wasn't Toya. She hasn't even given us that. Because she's a liar and a coward and an op. Her husband told on her ass, though, leave it to good old Cecil. We're going to get the truth out of Cecil. Phaedra is a lawyer and they lie for a living, right? I don't like the hair dress looked like Phaedra, but I liked it otherwise. Yeah, the hair, it was kind of like, did her and Alicia stop at the same ponytail and bang shop? They had the exact same hairdo. And it's just a little girl. It was very little girl. I think I would have liked it better down. Emmanuel is The best. Cobwebs in your uterus. Always got to get them checked before you send a baby emoji, you guys. Where no one's doctor, she can. Well, that's excellent. That's excellent. That's excellent. Good for you. Come on now, that was wrong. Again, people have babies with. No, I'm just saying, get your cobwebs checked first. And people can have babies with endometriosis. I'm not saying they can't. What I'm saying is the girl came on the show because of 3 emojis and 7 words, and she did not do her due diligence or personal responsibility of ensuring that there would be no issue with her 3 emojis and 7 words, you guys. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that she can't. I'm just saying that I'm the kind of person that had I tried to make sure my womb was going to be ready for somebody, I would have got what? I would have got made sure that the cobwebs was out first. That's all I'm saying. I hope she can have a baby. And just like Dr. Heavenly told her, I hope that it can be before the show starts airing or get pregnant on the show. But she might take that as bullying, like she did when Dr. Heavenly told her. That's the part. Quad did not need Heavenly's permission to call Dr. Jackie. And I actually asked Dr. Heavenly that. I was like, did you forget to mention that Quad called Dr. Jackie? Like, because that could have saved a whole lot of everything. But I did not appreciate how Dr. Jackie would have thought that Quad was somehow responsible for that, what she said on Dr. Heavenly shows coming out. Instead of looking at Buffy Purcell and Mariah, who, when they did the live the other day, they did like 15 minutes about that part. They've been the only ones checking for Dr. Jackie like that hard, in my opinion, allegedly, is Buffy Purcell and Mariah Huck would have been the first people that came to my mind, Dr. Jackie, about bringing up that clip from when you said how Black people allegedly act when they go see the doctor. Mm-hmm. Yes. Why should Quad have called Dr. Jackie? And then she said, I was going through my own thing then. She was talking about her niece, you guys. So for Dr. Jackie to still expect Quad to come out of her grief for a human that is no longer in our presence because of some shit that you said on a YouTube show. I was supposed to call you because of some shit you said on a YouTube show, but the little baby that I loved is no longer here physically. That's a selfish bitch move, Dr. Jackie. I said it. That's selfish. That's selfish. That, for one, you would have expected her to crawl out from under her grief because you were flippant with your remarks. But did you reach out to her? Because Simone said she was the only one that reached out. Nobody else really said they reached out during that time, but I think they might have all. But Dr. Jackie needs to let that go. In no way, shape, or form did Dr. Jackie, should she have ever expected a reach out from Quad while she was in the midst of mourning her niece. That's some backwards shit. That she should have never. And I don't know if they edited it to make it look like that's what was going on, or if something else was said after that whole thing where Quad is having to grovel and make her be like, oh, you didn't really think that was me that said that. Well, I didn't hear from you, so I didn't know. I was going through my own thing. My niece literally just died. Like, where's the compassion for Quad that Carrie Wells and Anila get? Where's the compassion for Quad? I'm not sure why they all have such a problem with Quad. They don't even. So are they saying that they're the kind of friends that hang out all season, off season 2? Because I don't think that I've ever seen Dr. Jackie and Toya just hang out off season or go on vacation like her and Dr. Heavenly do? Or does just certain people in the group need to maintain connections off season in order for the feeling of connectedness to still be present when they start filming again? Or is it mandatory that they all sit around and kiss each other's ass off season to keep this dynamic on the show? I don't think that it's required. And I don't think that that's real. They don't even travel in the same friend groups. Toya and Dr. Heavenly have known each other very long, but they weren't hanging out. And so for now, all of a sudden, a requirement to be in the friend group is that we see you and we lay eyes on you all the time and talk to you all the time. But when we do talk, I'm not going to tell you that I said I was the one that started the rumor about you sleeping with the contractor. And when we do talk, I'm going to blame you for what the white girl said. It's just backwards to me, you guys, and I can't. I'm glad the season is over. I'm glad the season is over. I'm confused about why is Phaedra there not saying anything and then calling Quad, who we love on the show, a fan favorite Quad, a cornerstone of the freaking franchise, the Titanic. But the Titanic got you in your tool over here and you still didn't say nothing or give us anything. We got a party. And Toya was right. Your baby daddy wasn't even there. You're going to have to do better. Jackie, you're going to have to do better next season. I'm tired of my friend Dr. Heavenly having to carry this freaking show on her back. It's not fair. Toya is going to have to do better. I need Toya to get raked across the coals next season and to have to take accountability for everything she's ever said or done against all the ladies. I'm going to need Dr. Simone's teeth to take total accountability next season for all this little backhanded alliance shit. You can't even say the truth to a liar because you're not going to go against your friend, Toya, but your friend of 20 years, Dr. Jackie, you'll go against. Make it make sense. And I hope that Sweet Tea's cobweb issue is resolved enough next year that we have a baby bundle of joy. Yeah, it gets brought into the world by one of the good GYNs. But they're going to have to leave Quad alone. Luckily, we already know from Dr. Heavenly, everybody's got their contracts. Quad is freed, you guys. She's coming back next season. And I hope that after the scare of being off the island, that she'll at least act like she gives a fuck about being around these ladies, because I want to see Quad interact. I love Quad in her accent. Yeah, that's where I am. Let's see. I thought the baby niece was a different. No, it was the same time. It was it was a closer time because she said it was after Napa, you guys, that it happened. And it was after Napa, obviously, that all this stuff happened, because that happened just now in real life. So the vote was all closer. Dr. Jax got called out because of the Kamala. Yeah, that's why I feel like Buffy Purcell, who actually was the one that was like, oh, she was talking to Kamala when she did this on Dr. Heavenly's channel, and then she did this to me. Remember when she was talking about this on me, and she went live a number of days. She went live for like 2 weeks talking about it and posting about it. You guys don't remember? I did a thing on it here. That was definitely Purcell. That was definitely Buffy Purcell, in my opinion, that drug all that stuff up because she was hating that Dr. Jackie's light is still rising and she's stuck in the trauma of having her infertility brought up on the show by Dr. Jackie that way. And did you guys know that it was such an issue for freaking Buffy Purcell? And she was so jealous, in my opinion, allegedly, that Dr. Jackie got to talk to Kamala, that she also went before like Congress and was talking about Black mortality in front of Congress after Dr. Jackie. Yeah, she wants to be on the show so bad. But she's not. She's on YouTube, just like me. OMG, I can't rewind. Thank you. Said got raked. Yes. Yes, raked. Sorry. Ugh. Yeah, I need her to get raked across the coals. Toya needs to get activated. She's been sitting back, yes, with her nice soft mesh life. Oh, yep, yep, yep. Yep, Quad is coming back. Ha ha, fooled you. Quad is free. Quad is free. Yep. And she'll be back getting paid. You guys hate when this black lady gets paid. You guys wanted her to have built that house and then got Tamara judged, but she didn't. She gets to keep getting her checks from Bravo so that she can keep paying for that house. Oh my gosh. The real time versus viewing time is confusing. Yeah, the Jackie fallout was after it aired. So even that, you didn't call me after it aired, after we were off the show. It's just weird. It's just weird. They want so many things from other people they're not willing to give. Yeah, my favorite is Dr. Heavenly and Quad at this point. Toya can stay for a little while, but the rest can go. Yeah, I mean, Simone is boring, and I don't need ear damage. And Dr. Jackie is too prude. I want her to have fun for real without looking like she's going to break from laughing. And I need her to stop fat shaming everybody. Not everybody likes their ribs to show. She had on a dress and she was serving, instead of side boob, it was rib cage, you guys. That's not sexy. Rib cage is not sexy to me. A little side boob is sexy, but I don't need to see ribs. Like that's, but everybody has their thing. They got the right number on the scale. They need the number. But look, if I start seeing ribs on me, something wrong. And my husband would think so too. He would get hurt. We get up out of bed with all kind of bruises from bone rubbing bone. Mm-mm. We need pushing for the cushion, y'all. Pushing for the cushion. Side boobs, not rib cage. That's what I would need to know, Derby. That's what I would need to know. And I don't think she did. The way she's sitting up there acting all highfalutin, I don't think she did. But I don't know. I'm not the eighth housewife. Yes, exactly. I would be hurt too if somebody put all my stuff without permission, and it would be mad at Simone too. And that's the thing. Didn't Buffy Purcell, who was the direct patient of Simone, she had so much smoke for Jackie who mentioned it, but Jackie only knew because Simone, your doctor, told her. And that's another reason why Simone, in my opinion, was yelling so loud at Jackie that season, was because she didn't really want it to come out that she was the one that told Jackie the news to blab to everybody at that event. And the only thing Buffy Purcell has said, oh, well, yeah, Dr. Simone isn't a good friend. But she wanted Jackie to get brought up on HIPAA when her doctor's the one that out HIPAA'd her, allegedly. I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it, but that is a lot of ribs, right? I want to see more of Dr. Alicia. Me too. And okay, you guys, if you go back a couple see when Contessa was on, Alicia was in the back at one of those things and she had shorter hair. But she was on the screen before. She's been on a couple seasons past, but she finally made it to the front of the line. Yeah, like to me, I've always had cushion for the pushing. Um, my smallest size has been like a size 8-10, smallest. And I'm never going to 0, don't want to be a 3, see a 4 later, 5 I don't want to be, 6 sounds like it hurts, 7 sounds like it still does, 8 I had a nice little curve in my waist, and 10 I was like, ooh wee, yeah, so I'll take 8, 10, 12. I'm not trying to have bones rubbed together. I'm not trying to make flames. I'm not trying. I do not want to see your bones. I don't. It was on every news feed in America. Well, had your little friend, Toya, not had her voted off the island, then maybe she would have got the time to mention it on camera had she been on camera. But I bet part of the reason she wasn't showing up after it happened was because it happened. You know how hard grief is to get out from under you guys? There's been days that I just don't feel like doing shit but crying since my daddy died. And he got to live a whole, full, wonderful life, which is my solace when I finally stopped. But could you imagine a little 3-year-old baby being taken from this world and all you're always crying about is the possibility of the life that she could have lived? And even if it was on every news feed in America, just like how you guys wanted Buffy to be able to talk about her shit, Quad should have been the one to bring that up. But some people want Quad to be the problem and the solution. So it's like Quad can't call them out at this point because they will flip it and blame her for the pandemic. You are so right. We need to find out what the phenomenon is when you find the closest Black person and blame them. But it never goes the other way. You find the darker the Black person is. But like, you're not going to turn and blame a lighter person than you. You're always just going to blame a darker person than you. It's a phenomenon. It's a phenomenon. I love that Derby's been hanging in here with me this whole time. This is hilarious. So no one was supposed to talk about a big elephant in the room. No, they weren't. Quad didn't bring it up. It didn't happen on camera. Quad didn't bring it up. It didn't happen on camera. And even the part about Simone's teeth calling her and reaching out to her during that time didn't happen on camera. Why bring it up? So are we going to start bringing, are you one of those, you want to bring up everything that didn't happen on camera to camera? Like, so we're just going to be filming 52 days, 52 weeks a year, 24 hours a day? Because that's not the way reality shows work. Usually on a reality show, you get what they give you that season and what they bring up. It's not what we, the public, know about that has happened unless you're on Love and Marriage Huntsville. But so far on these other shows, what happens off season is off season, and what happens on season is on season. But of course, there you go, moving the line again for the dark skin girl. Silly. You never seen an 8'10"? Like a size 8, a size 10, an 8'10". Yeah, it's not on the same label, silly. That's why Curtis cheated on Jackie. He wanted to feel, yeah. Well, that girl that he was in the airport with definitely had thighs that touch. And I bet if she did side boob, it would be no rib cage involved. Oh, yeah. See, and that's weird that they imply this stuff, but then when their wife, wasn't that Eugene that said something like that? Secretive about his real estate business. I wouldn't tell him nothing either. I wouldn't tell him nothing. But yeah, let Dr. Damon go on a show and imply that either of these two bros are cheating, then it's going to be a whole other thing, and they're going to end up blaming Dr. Heavenly for it. Watch. But these men are talking in women's business, and yeah, okay, Gina, isn't that what Marty Marr would have said? Gina. How did this? Well, okay, so you must have been late to my show because I said this is a form of colorism to me that Toya would not blame the white girl and Anila for their inception and beginning to all of this that they're currently blaming the dark-skinned Quad for. That's how dark skin got into it. You're not paying attention. That's how dark skin got into it. Quad is dark skinned, darker than Anila, and darker than Carrie. And somehow she's to blame and off an island for what the white girl said and what Anila said, who is a person of color. But she's not a dark-skinned person of color. Quad is a dark-skinned person of color who's somehow responsible for what the white girl did and the other lighter person did, according to an even lighter-skinned black person, Toya, who is forgiven said white girl and other person of color, but only has issue with the dark-skinned goddess Quad. You catch up? That's how it became that issue, because they made it that issue. I think Andy would have said some condolences about the gum line. Yeah, the gum line. That's Simone's teeth, you guys. For the people in the back, the gum line is Simone's teeth. Because when her gum lines talk, it sounds like when Nick Cannon plays drums really loud. I like it. I like it. They called her Surround Sound Simone on Carlos's thing on Monday. Surround Sound Simone. The gum line. Simone's teeth. Oh, you've never seen a size 8 or 10? Huh. Yeah, out in California, here in America, we have sizes 8s, we have size 10, size 12 is when they start calling you plus size, and you have to start going to the other shops. Anything 12 and above is plus size, and 10 and under is regular size. Yes, thighs that touch. Exactly. That's the best place to be, is inside thighs that touch, because your hips aren't going to come out with bruises. Anyway, there may be business down there in the DR. But look, and we found out Ray from Potomac been going to the Dominican Republic annually without Karen's ass. And now we haven't heard that he was, no, they did say that he cheated that one time. I don't know. Did he even cheat? I don't know. But they implied that his trips down there are for something other. Yeah. Toy had issues with Mariah, and she is light skinned. Make it make sense. Toya had issues with Mariah, and she is light skinned. You're right. She did have issues with Mariah, and she's light skinned. I'm saying the colorism in this specific case is because why isn't the white lady who started it and the person of color who started it still on the hook for what they have Quad on the hook for years later? It's colorism to me. You're not going to change my mind. You can bring up whatever else you want. You can try to make it make sense in your head because it makes sense in mine already. Colorism under the surface. Yep. And it's insidious. It is. It is. Because why isn't Carrie and Anila in trouble? Why is Quad in trouble 2 years later? I'm not talking about Mariah. Mariah is brown like many black people. Yeah, that's true. And you are just on one. I'm not sure if you're the goddess from the pits of hell. I'm saying that Quad is a melanated goddess, period. I'm not putting her in the pits of hell because she's in the middle of the ocean. On this thumbnail, she's in the middle of the ocean riding the sharks they tried to feed her to. Yes. Now, Simone should have gotten her mouth fixed, right? But she always talks about Dr. Heavenly's mouth. Her buck too fast. She looks like she sucked her thumb till she was 23. And she has the audacity to talk about Dr. Heavenly's mouth, okay? You're a plus size woman and you've never been that small. You mean as in an 8'10"? Yeah, that was I got I went on this super fast and I got all the way down to like an 8-10. The 8 didn't last for that long. That's why I'm leaning more towards the 10. The 8 it was like maybe 2 months or near the 8s. Maybe 2 months. And then it was just too skinny for me. I could feel my hip bone, you guys. It was so freaking weird. I could feel my hip bone. Oh my gosh, I did not like that. I did not like it, Sam. I am. Buffy Purcell. That's who I believe did it, allegedly. And not even allegedly. I know for a fact Buffy Purcell, as soon as the clip aired with Kamala Harris, the next day on Buffy Purcell's TikTok, she put up the talk that she had with Kamala, the talk that she had with, she is in, Jackie had with Dr. Heavenly on the YouTube, and then spliced in what she said that 5 years ago, 3 years ago, whenever it happened, when Dr. Jackie said, "You would know what that's like, Buffy. You're infertile." Yeah, opinions. I love them. We all got them. I love it. Thanks for sharing yours. For real, for real. I love you. Exactly. Ray was down there too. Then Bravo is a mess. They had both Karen and Jackie on Watch What Happens Live together. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Did they ask him about the DR thing? I don't really do a lot of Watch What Happens Live, but that would have been funny if he asked him about that. When MLM cheater husband lady threw water on Cloud. Oh yeah, when Lisa Cloud. When Lisa threw water on Quad and others heard there was a fight, they assumed it was Quad being ghetto. Yep. Yep. Part of the colorist thing. They automatically assumed that it was Quad, right? And then even Quad being the recipient of the water on her, it was still the issue. Yeah. Quad and Toya have never gotten along. Toya said Quad and Dr. G's engagement was called off. She did, huh? I totally forgot about that. So Quad has reason to be mad with Toya, bringing all that stuff up. But Toya, she let it go. Quad said Toya and Dr. Eugene was drinking and driving with her. So they said that on film, music. Did they say on film that she was drinking and driving with the kids in the car? And was it true? Had they gone to dinner and both had a glass of wine and then got in the car and drove home with their kids? That's drinking and driving. Even if you're not drunk, that's a form of drinking and driving. There are many parents who chant. I'm not one. I never have I ever, and I'm in my 50s, you guys. I was brought up on MAD. When I was in high school, MAD was invented. Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Thank God it wasn't Moms of Liberty, or else I don't know how much I wouldn't have learned. But Moms Against Drunk Driving used to go around the schools, and every prom season, they would bring around a car on a tow bed that had been crushed in a drunk driving accident, and it scared the bejesus out of me. And never have I ever drank and driven. Never have I ever. I've always either been designated driver or designated passenger, because I don't even have a sip of wine and drive with myself or anybody else. I don't care if the breathalyzer will say that I'm not drunk. It's a personal choice to never have not even a glass of wine or tequila, Toya, and then drive my kids anywhere. Never. Never have I ever. It's just my thing. So, but there are some parents and some people who are like, oh, I could have a drink. I'm not drunk. And then get everybody in the car and drive. And they're technically not drunk, but they were drinking and then had a drive. So if people have a problem with the truth, then maybe they shouldn't make the truth accessible by having a drink and then getting in a car with your family and driving. But definitely don't make the person who saw that happen the issue when you're the one that did that. You see what I'm saying? So all this problem with the truth, and now the truth is supposed to set you free. If you had a drink and then drove, just don't do that shit again. Don't say that I'm a da 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 da. Your responsibility is what you do. Uh-huh. Yeah, anorexia. Yes, Karen Carpenter demised from anorexia. That's anorexia is obesity's first cousin, huh? Yes. It was said. Yeah, and I'm not sure why you're saying that, but I still don't like any ribs, okay? I still don't like any ribs, okay? It was said on camera. It was proven to be a lie. Okay. Okay, so if she did not have, but because okay, look, we see Toya doing all kind of day drinking, you guys. Literally, Toya sits in her house all day on film and drinks. And if she sat a drink during the day and then went and picked up her kids in a golf cart or a car, then technically Toya drank and drive, you guys. She should have stayed her ass at home and called an Uber for the kids if you had any kind of alcohol before you went and drove that car. Look, Toya said Quad lived in a tiny ass apartment and put her down every chance possible, all the time. Every chance possible. Toya has it in for Quad. Toya just doesn't like her. She was picking up her husband from work in the middle of the night and dozed off. Ooh. Probably because she had been day drinking wine so much, allegedly. Because I know when I do drink wine and stay home, I'm ready for bed. It's a nice, like I can go straight to bed and sleep good. It's like a melatonin almost. It gets you to that place where you can just nod off, you know? So maybe she had drank and then went and picked him up, and then that happened because she was still tired, not only from that, but from going and pick him up. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. I wasn't there. I don't remember the scene. But there's a lot of different reasons why that could happen. Luckily, I lost over 60 pounds, still plus size. Oh, congratulations, Celine. I'm so proud of you. Yeah, I'm still hovering right with my 45. Since my dad, I was on such a good trend down. But I'm just maintaining. I want to lose a lot more, but I'm maintaining right now. So good luck to you. Yeah. That drinking on all the shows is why you are seeing black. Yeah. Drinking on all the shows. Yes. They drink too much. They need to have like a sober season on all the shows. And I look, all Toya's claim to fame is TTY. Toya's claim to fame right now is TTY. Tequila, tennis, and wine. Yes. She's basically like Arthur. Remember Arthur from the 80s? He would always play the drunk in the movies, and he was really rich and he had a cushy life, and he would just day drink all day and fall in and out of cars and on his way to go shop in New York. Who's that old? But Toya, I don't know why she's making this her persona. It's just like, I'm a drinker, day drinker. I'm a day drinker, soft life woman, but then doesn't want everybody to call out her day drinking, and then she goes and drives. And you said I was drunk driving. Bitch, you've been drinking for 10 seasons in front of us. Just drinking every chance you get. You need tequila. You can't even get through a scene sometimes without tequila or wine. But somebody implying that you drove drunk is a problem. We literally see you day drinking, lady. Yes, no, literal day drinking. She's the only one in her house. She already told us. She don't even get her kids out to school. At least Robin has to get yelled at to get the kids out of the house and get to school on time. Toya gets to sleep till 10, drink till noon, go play tennis, and then come home and whine at Dr. Gina about how they don't spend enough time together because he doesn't cook fast enough. I don't know. That's not the way it should be. You're very welcome. And good. And I would love to keep encouraging you on that. Let me know how you keep on, because you're encouraging me right now. Like I haven't had my yeah, I need encouragement right now. It's really hard getting. I've been eating these emotions. Bravo highly encourage drinking while filming. A lot of housewives are speaking. You're right, Derby. The reality reckoning did garner a lot of people coming forward saying that, in fact, there's a lot of drinking going on. Anybody who wants to catch a series, a scripted series about reality TV called Unreal, Unreal. It was so good, you guys, and it was all about how these shows are plying the producers or plying the people with alcohol, the things they'll do and say behind the scenes to get people to do what they need them to do, the incentives. Oh my gosh, on the show Unreal, they even suggested the producers get incentives to have cat fights happen, to have dysfunction happen among friend groups. Oh yeah, you need to if you need anything to do that series. I think there's 3 seasons of it, and it was very good. And then another show about the Wendy Williams thing is called I Care a Lot, and it's on Netflix, and it's about the guardianship system and exactly what's happening to Wendy, and how you're probably like, oh, well, how can't her family see her? Watch this movie and you'll see it's crazy what they're doing to people, man. She does drink on camera, yes, all the time. All the time drinking and bragging about it. And Simone has an alleged inebriated baby delivery incident that's never. No way. Really? Hey, Derby Diva, did you know about this? This should be brought up. This is not on season, but this should definitely be brought up. Don't you agree? If everything off season is getting brought up, why haven't we heard about this inebriated baby delivery incident? That's what I'm saying. I would love to hear from Simone's co-workers and patients on whether or not she's able to keep that yelling meanness inside of her at all times of the day, except for when she's on camera in front of Married to Medicine cast. Interesting. When Toya was dealing with the IRS debt, she refused to cut down on drinking as part of saving money. She refused to cut. She did. Oh my gosh, you're right. She was like, nope, I'm going to need this drink. Toya drinks. Oh, yes. She be drinking on the lives on Phaedra's channel. She used to drink on the lives with Cecil and Toya when they were, with Cecil and Simone's teeth when they were going live last season. She would drink all the time. She always, Toya's elbow only bends if there's a freaking drink in her hand, and it's all the time, you guys, allegedly. I think the reason the cast initially believed Quad because resurfaced because previously her Mariah had been known. But I still feel like my first thought would have been Buffy, because Buffy has not let it go. If you guys go to Buffy's freaking TikTok, she has videos up about this for a long time, you guys. She's the one that keeps reminding people what Jackie did. We were trying to forget it. And then you're like, oh, yeah, she did say that, huh? Because Buffy keeps bringing it up. Buffy is actually re-injuring herself at this point, in my opinion. I'm just like, Corey, you miss Lola was here. Lola was in the house earlier. Remember that whole private investigator scandal? Lisa Nicole Quad revealed Lisa is charged for DV and that her husband had a love child outside of the marriage. Yep. And then remember, she had allegedly brought his gay lover to one of the picture things. She did take it that far, but that was because that lady had thrown a drink in her face. So you're going to get what you get, which is your man's gay lover on the red carpet with me. And she said that Mariah did drugs. Well, look, your best friend would know. I'm not sure, but your best friend would definitely know. But or at least pretend like she knew in order to get back at you. So she has hit below the belt. That's what everybody is recognizing here. She's hit below the belt before too. Yes, Bravo. Have a lot of drinking. And that's what I'm saying. It's all their choice. It is their choice. Like, I don't, if I was an alcoholic, like Leah McSweeney, if I was an alcoholic and I needed a job, I would not go to a job where all they do is serve alcohol all day if I was battling in my sobriety. I would not. It's just a personal choice of mine, just like it's been a personal choice of mine to never drink and drive. You know how many parties I've been at throughout my life where I've been the only non-inebriated person? They were having the best time. Well, alcohol makes you feel like you're having a great time. And I'm the only sober one. I'm still having a great time because I'm a fun person, but it always looked like they were having more fun because they were inebriated. But I still made a choice in each one of those incidents to protect myself and them because it was my duty to be the responsible person and the designated driver. So we do have a choice. I bring it back to my addiction, food. I have a choice on whether or not to drive through In-N-Out or eat a salad. I can't complain about my ass size if I decide to drive through In-N-Out instead of eat a salad. And if I do engage in complaining about my ass size after I drove through In-N-Out, then you guys have every right to look at me like I'm fucking crazy because I brought it on myself. And that's how we're looking at people like Leah McSweeney, when you brought it on yourself. Yeah, let's see. Hey, we have 19 watching and only 19 watching. Please hit that like and subscribe. Right on. Yeah, if you guys can hit that like button, I'm not sure. They're not hitting the like button. Well, I have been kind of cussing people out. Well, I didn't really cuss them out, but I probably didn't get a like from Derby, possibly, because me and her have been going back and forth. But yeah. But everybody else, go ahead and smash that like button, smash the subscribe button if you haven't already. Yeah, it says we have 23 likes. You guys are so cool. Look, we have 20. Oh, that's because I liked it myself. You guys are so awesome. Thank you so much. It keeps me in the algorithm. You know, on the way to 2,000 over here, slow and steady wins the race. Yes, I'm on standby at work. Thank you. Toya is spoiled. I'm not mad about it either. I love a spoiled kept woman. I love the idea of a soft life, and so does Funky Dineva. He thinks he wants to be a rich white woman too. But look, if you're a soft woman, you don't have to be a mean drunk too. You don't have to blame the only black person for what the white people did. You don't have to, but you're choosing to, and it's not a good look, Toya and Simone. Let's see. Yeah, allegedly Mariah's storyline was looking after her nephew after his late. Oh, snap. Simone was allegedly. No way. Mariah's storyline was looking after her nephew after her sister. Like, and Simone was her GYN. No way. Well, why hasn't Mariah ever talked about that? And does Buffy know? Because Buffy Purcell's new passion, because she had an auntie or somebody that died or almost died because the doctor didn't believe and listen to them during childbirth. And so she made it her life's mission to take down Jackie, who she feels is a direct threat to that. But I wonder if she knows that Simone has actually done something like that. No, how sad. That's one thing that's a lot of responsibility, you guys. When people care enough about life to be doctors, and then you're responsible and like you're at that moment with somebody it could be seen as an issue that you caused, that's a lot of responsibility. Thank God for malpractice insurance. Yeah, I agree, Derby. I think because he has that bar downstairs and a bar upstairs. and they really only seem happy when they're pouring drinks together, drinking. And they still don't kiss though. They're not the kind of drinkers that start kissing and look at each other and like, "Ooh, you look sexy. Let me smack that ass." Because Simone don't have one. But I mean, I never even seen their lips touch. I don't think. Have we seen their lips touch? I mean, in a passionate way, because Dr. Jackie and Simone, I mean, Dr. Jackie and Curtis be doing forehead kisses and cheek kisses, and she don't even wear all that lipstick and stuff, which is sometimes why men don't want to kiss their women because they don't want to mess up their lipstick or whatever. But all this side cheek kissing and shit, no, kiss my lips, fool. Kiss my lips, smell my breath. Uh-uh. Mm-mm. Yes, I don't know if Dr. Heavenly doesn't know that. I don't even know. I need to find out the story and research it. Not a drunk. Yes, that's what they're saying, Corey. I can't even believe it. I forgot. Definitely. That's what I call them, copper cups. They be having the mules get served in copper cups. And on their lives, they would always have this copper cup. And that one time, Cecil was definitely slurring his words that time when him and some doctors Heavenly ended up in it because he was too loose. His tongue was too loose from whatever was in his copper cup. Yes. Hi. Yeah. They give me more drinking buddies than boning buddies. So Cecil's the kind of guy, he compartmentalizes his women. He has a golf woman. He has a drinking woman. So we're going to have to find out who the woman is he's having sex with because they do not scream, "I'm having an orgasm" at any time during the day or night. I'm not sure. They might need to go hang out with Larsa and learn how to have 5 releases in a year, more or less a night, because they are not oozing sex. Like me and my husband, we old, but we ooze sex. We ooze sex. Like our kids are like, "Stop it already." Or everybody our whole life has been like, "Get a room." Or "You guys have a license to do that?" Yeah. Yeah, we do. And we're going to keep on doing it because we still can't keep our hands to ourselves. I don't think that there should be a point in your relationship where you want to keep your hands to yourself or do it for too long. That's not a good sign in any longevity relationship. You should still want to do some kind of intimacy, little cute things with them. If my husband ever comes in the house and kisses my forehead instead of these lips, it's going to be a discussion time. Okay? And no wife out there, no partner, no spouse, man or woman, should be accepting cheek kisses and forehead kisses from your significant other when there's lips to land upon. Okay? Just don't do it. You reapply the lipstick, you wipe it off, you do whatever you need to do, but you're going to kiss these lips. You understand? Toya needs to buy stock in Patron at this point, right? But no, does she not drink Patron? What's the one she drinks? Yes, we all think it was definitely Buffy. And even Buffy in the live that she did with Mariah on Monday, I believe, she was really drilling into that some more. Like her plan didn't work yet. She's very upset, it feels. Yes, yes, it's crazy. Allegedly, where does it say? Here it goes. Allegedly, that was the hold Mariah had over Dr. Simone, which is why Dr. Heavenly alluded. Oh. And that kind of makes sense as to why Simone would be so mad at Mariah what if one of Mariah's diva moments was like, "I can make or break you. I could let everybody know about your drinking baby incident or something. This is Married to Mariah," or I don't know, maybe, who knows? I don't know. Yeah, yeah. Were you married, Zelene? Are you of age enough to remember Mothers Against Drunk Driving? Oh no, it wasn't good to you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. At least In and Out burgers don't stay alive for 20 years. Oh, 17 watching. Right on. Oh, I did. I love you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Mariah, her mother, her sister, would have these after show lives accusing Quad of every evil claim she lived with her for years. Yes. Yeah, they did. I remember those, Joanne. And I was like, I'm surprised that nobody refers back to those instead of getting mad at Dr. Heavenly for having her things, because Mariah did do a lot of damage on those lives after the show back in the day. She sure did. And Quad was everything but a child of God. Okay. That's what Toya wants, to be rich white woman. Her and Funky Dineva. Look, I'd rather be a rich black woman, but I guess they have an idea with being a rich white woman because they usually leave rich white women alone. Joanne, I think Quad was the most beautiful woman on Bravo. They're jealous. Yes. Or is Quad genuinely problematic? I don't know. I feel like they're kind of jealous. Let's listen to this. I did have this up here for us. Let's listen to this because I'm just like, it's too far.
Even the episode before that, I think I said this to you. I was like, I couldn't sleep that night because it felt mean girlish. And that's never been y'all show. Y'all show never been about like, we're going to ice one out. It's just never been that. So when I saw it, I was like, this seems weird. And I felt bad for you, of course. I also felt bad for Collective. Like, what are we doing here? And then when I saw Simone deliver the blow to you, like, we don't want you here. We want you to go home.
I just had to record my thoughts.
What? I was shaking. Yeah. And I saw you look sad. Then we saw you cry when you got back to your hotel room.
I was checking the sound, thanks.
In that moment, though, Claude, did you feel embarrassed, hurt, disappointed, or all of the above?
I hate to even go back there. It was so painful for me. I hate to even have to emotionally be in that place. But this is one of those times where it's just really, really hard. This is the part of reality TV where it's like 3 times the blow. You film it, you watch it, and again, we will revisit it, of course, at the reunion. In that moment, I felt humiliated. I felt devalued, actually not valued at all. I felt hurt, disappointment, sadness. I was confused. I kept on, when I went back to my room, I was trying to wrap my mind around, like, why did you really do something to them this bad to deserve this? Did you really do something to deserve this, Quad? And I thought back and I replayed things. I went through all the years. And I felt like it wasn't about an even exchange. The decision had been made way before I even went to Napa. The decision was made way before I got on the plane. This is what you guys are going to do, or this is what we're going to do in Napa, and that's it. And it was devastating because I truly did not feel that I had earned that I deserved it. I didn't. And I felt like it was just a pile up. Let's all get together and let's do this to her.
Mm-hmm.
There was not even one voice of reason at the table. Not even one. Not even someone saying, hold on, wait a minute, let Quad respond. Hold on, wait a minute. Can you hear what she's saying, Quad? And allow me to respond. And then allow me to say, this is how I feel. I feel like there's been some courtesies that's been extended to some people here that you all don't give me. There's a level of respect that some of you have that I just will never have and have not had. Because if anything could be said or done to me on this show, it has been said and done. Now, we all get it. And I don't want people to feel like, oh, here she is playing a victim and all of that. You know, what's funny about that word is when it's strong people are not extended the compassion and the empathy at all. And then when we speak up and have to tell our side of the story, it's like, oh, now they're playing a victim. I'm not a victim. I'm just here to tell my story. I'm just trying to help you to understand. And can we meet somewhere in the middle where I can take the responsibility of what I've done to you? But please, take the responsibility of what you've done to me. And that's all that I was actually trying to say at the resurrection. I didn't even want to get into the things that have been said about me. Hell, I think maybe Toya said, did an interview or something with you, and was like, oh, Quad is ugly, and Quad is this, and Quad is that, without her hair and without her makeup, and, you know, just carrying on. I'm like, what is all of that? What is that for? What is that about? You know, do you hate me? That's fine. And I can leave you where you are if that's where you want to. If you want to stew there, then you hold on to that anger. Toya, I'm not here to hold on to that anger. And I was not there in Napa. I didn't come with malice. I didn't come with cruel intent. I didn't come being mad or negative. I came with good heart posture, humble and supportive. And it was completely looked past and stepped on.
So going back to the actual moment, the girl said, we're not feeling a connection with you anymore, right? And that was sad to see. But then to add insult to injury,
it's difficult.
Yeah, no, I know, and I appreciate you being candid about your feelings, because you know it was hard to watch. So I could imagine being the person on the receiving end of this phone call that took place, where they called you back down to the room, and I want to get your feelings about that, because obviously you were there. The dinner scene was a lot, but then to get called down again,
yeah,
it's like in the middle of the night, and it felt like, well, bitch, you survived that one. We want to get you. We want to get you some out, you know. And they pretty much emphatically said, you need to leave. Like, we want you gone. If you didn't get that at the dinner, bitch, we're telling you before you lay down, honey, and you wrap these inches up in a bonnet and catch the first flight out, that Phaedra will be not on. So when you got that phone call and you were there and you heard them say you should leave.
So that was one of the videos I found. Let's see if this lady has the other one. Just a second. This lady has the clips, so I was trying to just go to the clip. Quad. Here we go.
I would have never thought that I would have been treated that way. I know, you know, like, We have our challenges. We have, some issues that we need to address. But I never would have thought that it would have resulted into that. It felt like to me that it was almost like we've been waiting to get your ass. It felt like they've been waiting, just waiting for the moment. And it was very hurtful. I was really just trying to think like, Naquad, really go back.
That's good to know.
Go back, girl, and think, have you done anything this bad to be treated this way? Because honestly, in our reality, we all talk about each other. It's just women. It's part of it. But have you done something this terrible that is unrefutable that you will be told, we don't want you. We do not want you. That was hurtful. I felt like a piece of paper that was balled up.
Oh, that's sweet.
And thrown in the trash.
Yeah, I don't see it like that.
So if they were trying to humiliate me,
definitely, if that's your thing, as long as you're getting the kisses you like, get your kisses. That's my point. Oh, you're pushing 60. Oh, that's sweet.
I felt like it was planned. I felt like it was already premeditated. It was a plot. It was a plan. It was a scheme. It was already laid out. All they needed was for me to be there. That's how I felt.
Yeah. I
felt like, as I said, in a green screen, I was like, my head was in a blender. And honestly, it really didn't stop there. Like, it didn't stop when I packed my suitcase. It was like when I got to the table, I was open. I was greeting everyone. Hey, I was high energy. The whole time I had great energy. I even coming out to the trip, I had great energy. I was positive. I was in a place of happiness, but knowing there were some things that needed to be worked through, and I was hoping that we could work through them. I was very optimistic going into that dinner and going out to Napa Valley to support Toya. Was extremely optimistic. Because if I felt like
I'm like Angela Bassett,
it's a no-go quad, then I probably would have said, I would have tried to speak with the higher ups and say, please, right now, it's probably not a good idea for me to be there. Is there anything that I can do to wait until we work some things out before I do something like support someone who I know hates me?
And just so I'm clear, does she hate you because you made accusation that she was a thief, that her and Eugene were thieves? What is that?
I'm really happy you brought that up. I'm very happy you brought that up. First and foremost, do I think Eugene and Toya are thieves? Absolutely not. That is utterly ridiculous. I will not cut his career down like that. That man has worked hard to be where he is. He is a doctor. Absolutely not. I do not think that they are thieves. This is how that played out. Carrie Wells, who was Toya's close friend at the time. You do remember Carrie Wells because Carrie Wells and Toya in season 1 brought up my mugshot when Dr. G and I had the first physical situation. And Dr. G has a mugshot as well, may I add. I don't know, they didn't bring his up, but they was very happy to show mine. However, Carrie and Toya had stayed in contact with each other throughout the years. Although Carrie was not on the show, her and Toya had became very, very, very good friends. And Carrie came to us and said that Toya told her, word for word, that there was a hit out on Anila in the neighborhood. That there was a hit out on Anila in the neighborhood. And Heavenly and I like, wait a minute, you know what you're saying? And she's like, listen to me. I don't operate like that. I don't know what's going on with Toya. I'm telling you, this is when I had to break from Toya. This is Carrie speaking. Said that she had to break away from Toya because she did not want to be a part of it.
Thanks for being here, Zelene.
No, have any affiliation with it. But she made mention to us that Toya told her that there was a hit out on Anila in a neighborhood. There was a whole situation here. 2 days later, Anila's home was robbed. Now, here's the thing. Do I think for one moment that Toya and Eugene had anything to do with that? Absolutely not. I don't think it. I don't believe it.
Yeah, like change the battery already.
I'm not thinking that, Toya is somewhere Jimmy and locks and Eugene is scaling walls. No, I'm honestly, Carlos, you're laughing.
Well, I'm laughing because that's why I asked you the question, because we're confused why it's this big thing with you and Toya. So I was like, well, is it a big thing? Because, listen, a lot of people can say it's assassinating someone's character. But I'm laughing because it's the visual of, like, I don't see this prestigious Dr. Eugene.
Exactly.
Right?
Scaling the walls with his mask on, and his black combat boots, and his black pants, and his black shirt, and he got all of the 007 equipment, and he's scaling the walls so they can break into Anila's house. Absolutely not. I don't think that at all. When I said I'm going to stand on it, what I meant was, Toya, you need to tell us, where did you hear that from? Give us more. Give this girl something where her investigators can go on. Because right now they're saying, your good friend Carrie Wells is saying she heard it from you. Toya, where did you hear it from? That's what I meant. I don't think Toya is going to break in anyone's house. I don't think Toya is going to steal anything from anyone. I don't think Eugene is going to steal or take anything from anyone. Eugene may do some other things in reference to, like, DMing Anila and saying, watch heavily in quad, this and that. But Eugene is not scaling walls. Sorry. He is not scaling walls.
No, he has a scaffold trying to fix people's body organs, child. Y'all better leave Eugene alone.
Eugene is an ER doctor,
yes, Lord,
who works extremely hard.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
To be a very good example for his sons.
Yes.
He is not scaling walls and breaking into people's homes.
Well, I'm glad we cleared that up, because the whole thing with you and Toya was weird, because there seems to be this urgency removing you from the trip. And one of the things that I was thinking about was, were you punished because you missed 5 weeks of work on the front end? So was it like, well, bitch, you missed 5 weeks of work on the front end, so bitch, you about to miss 5 weeks of work on the back end? It seemed too urgent that I'm going to tell you where...
I would have never thought.
Yeah. So. Yeah, let's go back to this real quick. Where's the one where they were on here? Yeah, so she did apologize a number of times. Um, let's see what Simone was saying.
Makes sense. But when we got there, she split the gifts between boys and girls. Okay. And so, I mean, it's a cute idea. Jackie got the best doggone gifts. Jackie, what did you get again? Jackie, did you steal the gift like you stole at T's party? Oh yeah, she took that J. Malone. She took that J. Malone candle. Yes.
Listen, nobody.
Did you steal the gift?
Listen. I did not steal any gifts.
Okay.
I may have wanted to, because Phaedra got a really. Toya gave the best. What?
Thank you, Jesus. Hallelujah. Yes. Yes. She can speak. Yes. I do have a voice.
You
I have a
say
voice. From Jackie last night.
it's on now.
They said
Appear.
gotta find something.
Yeah, so I wanted to show you guys that. Let me remove
But
this.
you can't really ever down somebody's profession when you really don't have one. That's all I want to say about it. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, that's what we could say about Toya. But you guys, I was just looking at that because that was a really heartfelt explanation and apology, I felt like, again, from Quad to the Bush Harrises about her part in perpetuating what their two clear friends said first and louder. And to go back to how my point of Toya has yet to take any accountability for anything ever. She never had to answer for trying to mollywop Mariah. She never had to answer for telling everybody that Mariah's kids were adopted. She never had to answer for hella shit that Toya's done. Never has she ever had to answer for it. So at the least, you should have had to answer for why your white friend came on this black show and told all of us that your black ass said there's a hit out on the person of color. And then our house got robbed. But we never got that answer because everybody just started yelling at Quad, and they still yelling at Quad instead of answer the questions. I don't mind the Martin Luther King speech. My birthday's January 17th. Karma's not nice when it comes to visit. Nope, it's definitely not. It's not. And it's not going to be nice to Dr. Teeth or Toya's elbow when they finally have to take accountability for all the stuff that they've done for 10 seasons. 10 seasons unchecked, you guys. 10 seasons. Zero accountability. 10 seasons of gathering people to hold everybody else's edges to the fire, and they still need a perm in the back. 10 seasons. Yeah, plain stiff relaxer. Thanks. Phaedra's shadiness is a bit much. Cute. Toya said Lisa Nicole's husband, you're gay. Yeah, she said that. 10 seasons. Did we ever hold Toya's feet to the fire for starting that gay rumor? For coming after Lisa Nicole's marriage? She was not nice to Lisa Nicole until Lisa Nicole started being evil to Heavenly and Quad. 10 seasons, zero accountability from the two bitches that put themselves in charge of an ensemble cast that Mariah Huck put together. How is Toya and Simone's Teeth the HBICs on this show, and everybody has to come and kiss their ass, and they speak for everybody on this panel? Even at BravoCon, Simone would always chirp up and pipe up like she knows everything that's going on in Married to Medicine because it's her show. She had to answer to the feds. That's true. Toya was wrong for that. Yeah, she was. Yup. Yup. It's true. They just need to all have this. They had an intervention for our girl Heavenly for doing stuff off camera that they were all doing. They were all having lives on their social media. They were all talking trash about each other on their social media. Dr. Heavenly did it better and on a bigger platform because she's the most relatable and reaches back to her audience and makes us feel like we're part of her family in a way that we're like, oh my God, Dr. Heavenly's live. Let's go watch. But when Simone goes live, I don't even have a notification for Simone's ass on. I don't have a notification for Toya Bush Harris's ass on. Now, I do have its notification on for Sweet and Sour, but she happened to block me because one of y'all hoes went back and told her that I'm always talking about her ass. It's with love because I love the show. And I love that she gave me something to laugh about when you sent 7 words and 3 emojis, but you didn't check the cobwebs in your uterus. No, because I'm watching on my phone. Curves, if you were in charge of production, how would you change next season? First off, we would start with a weekend jaunt to Tammy's house in season 11. It would open with that kind of music where you're coming over the crest of a meadow in the springtime, and a bird would fly by and the sun would be shining down, and then it would do a wide shot and a close pan up to the women pulling up to a countryside. And in it, in the distance, would be Tammy's house. And there would be golf clubs for everybody. And they would be off to Tammy's house for a weekend jaunt to Tammy's. And that would set the tone for the entire season 11. Because they're all about to get some. It's finally going to be Simone's turn. Let's see, how do you react? You couldn't even finish a book with Omarosa's help, because Tammy was going to have to be a chapter in your unresolved throuple, Simone's teeth. But no, that's one thing I would do. Then, as soon as we get to Tammy's and have to do that, I would just keep the camera right on Simone's teeth and there by her face, and just really watch Simone's reaction to everybody coming up to Tammy's house who's been out of their lives now for 5 years. And I would hold the camera there and just let us sit with what we might catch as a glimmer of emotion from Simone. Then they would go play golf and Simone would have to pretend like she was fine with it, or she would have a complete breakdown and finally just have a fight with Tammy. I don't know. Which Cecil would end up breaking up, and then he would go and comfort Tammy because he hasn't seen her in 5 years and he knew her longer. And then Simone would really be mad. And then the whole season would be trying to keep them together for their storyline, along with her finally having to take accountability for being the one who brought the contractor rumors to the public, which she has not had to do. Then the next scene would be at Toya's house with Gina. And Gina would be saying, you know, Toya, maybe if you didn't throw biscuits and emasculate me constantly, then people wouldn't have had nicknames for me like Sassy Gina and Eugina. Would you please stop, woman? And can you cut down on the day drinking? Because our kids are going to have to look back at this film and see that you usually start drinking around 9:30 a.m. Do you think that you could stop that? Huh. And then we would go to Sweet and Sour's house. And at Sweet and Sour's house, hopefully she would have a belly full of baby. But Gene would be writing $4,000 checks and sending them to Phaedra, hoping to get his money's worth. Because, like he said, who knows where he would be had he had $4,000 for Phaedra. Then we go over to Dr. Heavenly's house. And in Dr. Heavenly's house, we would have her and Dr. Damon on their 47 acres at their family compound with their house in their backyard, kicking it, having one of their parties. And she would have all of her lovely children around. And they would be telling her about the dentistry and about how things are going at FAMU and about their latest real estate dealings. And she would be showcasing her Dr. Heavenly University, where she teaches regular schmegular people how to get on the up and work their way and get towards those millions the way the 5% do, so that we too can go buy a 47-acre freaking compound for our family. Then I might do a shot over at Phaedra and show her packing up and leaving Married to Medicine, because I don't really think Phaedra's necessary over here. Then I would go to Quad's beautiful house and see Quad with her new man, who might have his face blurred out because it's her business. And we would get to talk to Quad and see how much she's doing better with her other set of friends, because I think that you're allowed to have other sets of friends, especially when the only options are people that yell at you, people that lie on you, people that deflect, and people that blame you for everything. So, of course, I need a different batch of friends, because hanging out with you guys is draining and you're giving me wrinkles. Did I miss anybody? Oh, and then we would have to go to Anila's house, and she would be sitting there with Carrie, and we would overhear the conversation where they affirm and take full responsibility for starting all the rumors that Quad got in trouble for, while they laugh about it. Because that must be what they're doing in real life, is laughing at how they got off scot-free and Quad's in trouble 2 years later for what they did. And that would be how I start the season. And then I would let the chips fall where they may. Does that sound good? I don't know. Sounds like it would be a nice messy mess start. I'm gonna drop the link again, because I don't know if you have a minute, Emmanuel, to come up and defend Dr. Teeth. But yeah, let's put that there. I have loyalty to none of them. I call a spade a spade. Yeah, I like Bizwest. Me either, girl. I don't recall Phaedra ever being plain. I do remember her Bougetto, yeah. Well, she did used to have, like, her hair was just a regular perm, I think is what she was, and it was flat before she started doing. Remember when her mom used to come on camera when she first got on Real Housewives of here we go, Emmanuel. Okay, Emmanuel, take it away. I don't know if you're between classes or what.
Hey, yes, literally. I have
Okay, go ahead.
I'm about to go to my next one, but I just want to say I defend Simone because, okay, here's the thing. It told me a lot when she said, I don't want to jeopardize my true friendships. She said that Toya has brought her into her home. She's cooked for her. She's loved on her. And I feel like that's what a friendship is about. If you're inviting me over to your house and your husband and you are cooking for me and we're having trips and stuff, you are my true friend. I don't want to risk it to be friends with somebody who doesn't really care about friendship within this group. And it's fine if Quad just if she's just there for the check, as they said. That's totally fine, but I'm gonna put my priorities where they belong. Now let's get to the controversy. When Simone said that thing about her niece, when she said it, I felt horrible hearing it. Like, even just as a viewer, I hate that she said it explicitly, but I understand her point. Her point was that when something major happens, you need to put aside your differences and your pettiness and be there to support that person. And I feel like that's what she did, because didn't Quad say, like, you're right, you definitely were there for me and you did love on me, and for that I thank you. I just think that I expect better for him because she's a doctor and she is supposed to know how to deliver bad news. So I don't think she did a good job when she explicitly said her niece who died in her pool. And she even kind of like emphasized her pool.
And then was looking at her. Did you see her give her a side eye to make sure it was fully affecting her?
Right. Yeah. So I can't defend her saying that statement, but I do defend the sentiment of it, which was her point was trying to be that she was there for Quad. And like I said, I do think Quad appreciated it that she was there for her. But I'm really disappointed in Jackie. We respect Jackie as a doctor and everything, but it disappointed me that they thought Quad did it when it was clearly, allegedly, Buffy, most likely. So I do think they owe Quad an apology for that.
Definitely, definitely. I appreciate you coming up between classes. Now, did you hear the interview with Cecil, Gina, and Carlos, where Cecil said that it was actually his wife who brought up the contractor rumors to film to the show? And do you think that that was fair for one, for Toya to be able to say it, Quad to bring it up, Simone's teeth not take accountability for it, but then still turn and say, I'm such a good friend to you that I reached out to you during a tragedy, which is duh. I mean, strangers probably reached out to her during the tragedy, but a real friend would not have used it and weaponized the reach out. Real friends don't weaponize reaches. So
That's
I
true.
feel like Dr. Simone's teeth was lying about the friend she is, because she also knows that she's the one that started the rumor that her husband just confirmed she started and has
But
not taken any accountability.
maybe for Dr. Simone, I'm just thinking, maybe for her, she sees rumors and cheating as like not that important as she does like a death. Maybe.
But she did stick up for Toya in what Quad said against Toya, allegedly, that the other white people actually said. She's holding Quad's feet to the fire for what Quad allegedly said about Toya secondhand, but not holding herself to the fire for what she said about Quad firsthand. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's like,
Mm-hmm.
it's all a game. What's that shell game where you're like doing the cards to see if you can distract me from the real card? Like, she's just playing with us right now. But why does she have this allegiance with Toya? What can she as a doctor get from Toya? Food? Really? You hang out with her? Really? That's enough for you? That's all it takes? She
maybe
loves on you.
maybe I don't know. Maybe there's more behind the scenes that we don't see. Maybe they're compatible. I don't know, but here's my question though. Okay, maybe you can answer this for me because I'm a little confused. Okay, so last season, the rumors were out that Quad slept with her contractor to get a discount.
And Simone started that rumor.
Right. There was also that rumor that Toya was sleeping with a neighbor because they were living in a neighborhood where Anila was there and so was some
Anila
other
started that
friend.
rumor.
So if I recall correctly, in that reunion, Anila was like Team Quad, Team Heavenly against Toya. How did that change? Because when she was on the screen this season, she was like, "Oh, I can't believe I was ever friends with Quad." I'm confused
Yeah.
about that.
That's hey, we're all confused with why people are allowing these white ladies off the hook. Like, it's so weird that you started it, you admitted it, you know you did, but now you're literally sitting here talking trash about the person who repeated what you started. And like you said, that was really, oh, I can't believe you even have to hang out with this ex-wife. What are you even talking like that for, Neela?
Yeah, that was unnecessary.
I
And
don't
I like
understand.
Anila,
It's
but
all weird to me. And it's almost like, I'm like, okay, so January 6th was a parade for everybody then?
oh my gosh. Okay, listen, I gotta go. But last thing I want to
Okay.
say, I can't
Thank
wait
you.
for us to meet next week because my girl, my home girl, Sweet Tea, is gonna put Quad in her place. She said, "Move on."
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to even fly, because look, your husband couldn't even hardly take his hand off my waist. But can one of the mods please drop Manny's channel? He gives great recaps. He has a channel in here in these YouTube streets. And Dina the Explorer has a channel. Can somebody drop her chat? And Nadi was in the house. Can somebody drop her link too, please? I'd appreciate it very much. And any other content creators in the house, let my mods know. And because there's enough to go around.
All right, I'll text you later, Chris.
Okay, I
Okay,
appreciate
bye.
it. Thanks for sharing your POV. So, yeah, we're coming up on the end of my rant, you guys. I just really had to bring this all around. Like, to me, again, Toya is being a colorist by letting the white ladies off the hook for 2 years, taking pictures with these hoes, having her cheek to her cheek at her Christmas party, at the Met Gala, standing there talking trash about Quad, with the person who started the rumor that you're yelling that you're mad at the lady. You said I stole. You said I was having an affair, but you're taking pictures, cheese for the cameras because you are a fakey McFakerson with the person who really did this harm for you. But the only smoke you have is for Quad's melanated skin. That's a form of colorism. Nobody going to tell me different until I see these white people in trouble for what they did instead of Quad getting scapegoated and blamed 2 years later, getting treated like shit, getting voted off islands, being ostracized, having her tragedies for fodder for the masses, having you pretend like you're her friend when you're not because you initiated the rumor, Dr. Teeth. I need accountability in season 11, a weekend jaunt to Tammy's. And I don't know. Well, now that Apollo, did you guys hear that Apollo got caught on a Ring camera at his mistress's house after the reunion aired? And so maybe if Phaedra is on, because I think Phaedra's coming back too. I think they did a 3-year thing with her because Phaedra's already coming back next season, you guys. And so is Quad, so is Heavenly, so is Dr. Jackie, so is Toya, so is Dr. Teeth. Now, the only person that's a question so far is Sweet and Sour, and it's because she was saying things like her mental health was affected. Well, that's what happens when you act more mature than you are and put yourself in weird situations where you constantly have to lie about cobwebs that you could have found out about sooner. I'm not sure. I'm giving her some grace, though. I love her. I think she's a good addition to the show. She certainly has given us a lot of entertainment. Looking forward to the next episode. Oh, and then can somebody tell me how Dr. Simone and her 120 pounds of flat ass thinks that she can body shame Dr. Heavenly, who is the brick house of them all on set right now? Her and Phaedra are the freaking her, Phaedra, Quad. They're all serving body yada 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 yada. Body yada 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 yada. And until last season, freaking Toya was until she got on the Zempic, she was always mad about her freaking fat too. But the only person they ever tell they're fat to is Dr. Heavenly because she used to be fat. And then Simone's Teeth was like, I'm 120 pounds. Yeah, flat ass. And I was glad when Dr. Heavenly was like, yeah, my husband might have something to get through, but he gets to it. Okay, Copper Cup? And for all the people, I was looking at the comments. You're right. So for all the people that like a kiss on their forehead, if that's your thing, get it. I'm just saying for me personally, my point literally was, I'm going to adjust my point. I'm going to amend my point. My point is that if you're not getting the kisses that you are used to, that's what I should have said, the kisses that you're used to. So I'm used to lip kisses from my husband. I love my lip kisses. If I was ever in a situation where he all of a sudden just started kissing my forehead, I would be like, babe, I said it would be a talk. So my point is that if you like forehead kisses and your husband starts giving you lip kisses, then you might want to talk to him about why the difference is, or vice versa if it's your wife. So I'm just saying, get the kisses that you need from your person, because I don't see enough kissing from these married couples on this show. Nobody reeks of intimacy. Nobody reeks of crazy wild monkey sex. I'm not picturing a lot of chandeliers breaking. Nope, not at all. And I would like to, because I love Black love. And part of the Black love I love is like actually PDAs, public displays of affection. I'm not adverse to those. I'm not adverse to showing the world displays of love, touching, caressing, a nice glance, a smile, a pat, a kiss, wherever they like it, whether it's the forehead, cheek, or lips, as long as you're getting it where you like it. But I would like to see that. It's literally called Married to Medicine, and let everybody tell it. We're married, married, married. Well, I'm married and I kiss and do a lot of other things. So yeah, I think, oh, you get both. Excellent. I like my kisses down low. Yeah. Well, poor Alicia, you can't miss what you never had. Get all that fat on Heavenly Miss Piggy. Who's Miss Piggy? Get to all that fat on Heavenly Miss Piggy. Yeah, I'm not sure what you mean by that because she's looking very ever so. Nobody's fat over there. Interesting. Simone and Jackie don't cook. And that's the other thing. And Cecil said how he met Simone was at college and she cooked for him, you guys. So she used to cook. Yeah, Lipton could TikTok like Purcell. Her and Buffy Purcell should start a podcast. If she's a one season wonder, then she could go on a podcast into other social media platforms like Buffy Purcell and talk shit about the show she used to be on. The only person that doesn't do that, Dr. Contessa, is still busy being a doctor. She does not waste time coming to the social medias whining about the show that she used to be on. But but this one, Buffy Purcell and Sweet and Sour, yeah, it seems like that's something they would do. Yeah, Sweet Tea might be back, but it's not confirmed yet. She did, even in that interview she did on TikTok, her new platform. Seriously, on TikTok, she did even say that it affected her mental health. Yes, the Ring camera. Oh my God, that lady was setting him up, and stupid Apollo, still a dumb criminal. Well, because cheating is still cheating on your wife is a form of the crime, because when she comes and takes all of it, you're going to feel like you got, bruh. The Inside and Out. How many videos does she have of him? Oh my gosh. How many videos? And then how they just so you leave your wife you don't sleep in the bed next to your wife to go to your boo's house to sit on a couch and watch TV at her house. Hey, look, being with the people who support you and make you feel good is really important, you guys. Yeah, I know you do. Simone wants someone to cook for her, right? Yeah, Mariah even reached out to her. Simone was hateful when Quad was divorcing. Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And remember, Quad didn't really want to talk about it. And the way they were attacking her when she was getting divorced, isn't it interesting that we don't even really talk about that? Why didn't somebody try to save that relationship? Why didn't they rally around her and try to save that relationship? And even since she's left that relationship this year, did anybody but my ears hear when they were talking about the abuse that Quad said? They were like alleged abuse. We don't know that. Like still calling Quad a liar about what she experienced in her relationship. Yeah, that was your friend, Dr. Teeth, and her friend Tacky Toya. Oh, you do? Yeah. Oh my God. Oh my God. Look, I have a saggy lip on one side too. I've been practicing, because when I look at myself in my reruns, and even when I'm doing my stuff for work, I'm like, dang, I don't know how I can strengthen that side, but I definitely have a limp lip on one side. Right? Right. That is funny. That is funny. Okay, Curvies. Well, thanks for you guys turning in today. I hope you guys had fun. I hope we had a good conversation. And know that everything I say, even though I say it harshly sometimes, is with love. I thank these ladies for sharing their life. I love they have the courage to come in front of us for 10 seasons now and give us a version of reality. I'm not adverse to it. I hope they keep it going. I hope all these Black goddesses get to keep on working. I hope they can work on their colorism issues and see it for what they are, and blame the people that need to be blamed. Don't look for the nearest Black person and blame them. Obviously, if Carrie Wells is blamable, blame that bitch. If Anila is blamable, blame that bitch. But I'm not sure how Quad has to bear the cross for these other hoes. I'm not sure. It's not fair. and they need to adjust it, and Simone needs to get called on the carpet. Thanks, you guys. And look, you go out, have yourselves a great day, be your best, shine your brightest, get what you want. There's enough to go around, okay? See you in the next video. Leave a comment. Thanks for coming through.